cruise base hit in the top of the 8th. But the Rays came right back in the bottom of the 8th and fired back with their 3rd home run of the night, and the O's came up a run short. Can the Birds even up the series tonight? O's fans sure hope so. It's Game 2 right now on MASN. It's the Orioles on MASN tonight from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. It's the O's and the Rays tonight, Game 2 in this 3-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Mike Bordick in a moment. And the Orioles got good news today. Matt Wieters' Tommy John surgery was successful. So Wieters now will begin the rehab process with the hopes of being back in the lineup for opening day of next year. Now, with Wieters out of the lineup since May 11th, the Orioles have held their own. They remain a factor in the AL East race, despite the fact they have not had one stretch where the hitting and the pitching have been in unison at the same time. And this current stretch the Orioles are in is a perfect example. In the past 10 games, the Orioles have gone 5-5, despite the fact their hitting has tailed off. As a club batting just .231 in the last 10 games, despite a .264 average for the year. 30 runs scored, that's near the bottom in Major League Baseball. 74 hits, they've hit 11 home runs, that's good, but they're not scoring enough runs off those home runs. And the average with runners in scoring position just .213, despite the fact the pitching has been very, very effective. And Mike Bordick, I guess you could look at it that, yeah, the Orioles expect to hit and they should turn it around, but right now they are missing opportunities to win more games.
They sure are, and like you said, the offense and the pitching, this hasn't worked together all season long, and it's nice to see the pitching really stepping forward, but this offense is kind of just treading water right now. They haven't had the ability to pick up the big hit. You saw the numbers with runners in scoring position, and all season long they've been pretty good at that point, but right now just not being able to string the hits together. They've gone 9 games in a row without 10 hits. Now, this isn't what this offense is about. I mean, this is a powerhouse offense with power potential. They are getting their home runs, but that inability to string the hits together, and when it's a team that isn't drawing walks and stealing bases, they've just got to hit their way out of this slump.
Now, on a team that has been inconsistent at the plate, there are 2 players who have been very consistent. Nick Markakis at the top and Adam Jones in the middle. He's been on an absolute tear.
He sure has. I mean, it's been so impressive to watch him, and certainly this month he has been on fire. That .356 batting average, that's 9th in the American League, but 6 home runs, first, RBIs 14. That's tied for second. Total bases 42, and the go-ahead RBI 6. That's first in the American League as well. And it's been a great season of consistency for him, hitting .298. 12 home runs, 43 RBI, 85 hits, and 41 runs scored. Second on the team in all those categories. Well, it's about him using his lower half and using the whole field. I mean, 4 of his 6 home runs have been to the right side of second base, and you see his legs get into that swing. When the timing's right, Adam Jones is the most dangerous hitter in baseball. Now, he has had career years the past 2 seasons. This year, he's showing much more consistency, especially here in this month of June, and he is so dangerous because he has incredible plate coverage. Pitchers try to make these nasty pitches on him, and he can cover the plate and then some. You saw that high fastball he hit in last night's ballgame for the 2-run shot. They're trying to throw nasty sliders down and away. If it's on the plate, he's going to hit it, and he's going to hit it hard somewhere. If it's just off the plate, there's a chance he's going to hit it hard somewhere as well. And when you see him using the whole field, he's one of the most dangerous hitters in the game.
So the Orioles looking to bounce back tonight, get a win, and set up a rubber game in the finale tomorrow. And when we come back, we'll chat with Nick Markakis, who keeps moving up the all-time hits list. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Beautiful day today in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Orioles and Rays getting set for Game 2 in this 3-game series. And Nick Markakis continuing to have another outstanding season at the plate. A .300 batting average, 6 home runs with 28 RBIs, and a team-high 86 base hits. Now, last night he passed Ken Singleton for 6th all-time on the Orioles career hit list with base hit number 1,456. And I talked to him about it and asked him about that personal achievement.
Look at the guys ahead of me. It speaks for itself. The guys, that I'm trailing, what they've done in their career, and not only in their career, but for the community and the fan base itself. It's it's exciting, but you also look at it in hindsight. I'm still a long ways off from a lot of those guys in front of me. So. My approach is take it day by day, and like I said before, where I am at the end of my career is where I am.
This season alone, you've passed Paul Blair, Al Bunbury, Brian Roberts, and now Ken Singleton. Do you feel like you're in elite status in this franchise?
No, I don't see myself at that state ever. I see myself as a guy that shows up and plays hard every day, and and be a good teammate. And, the numbers side is something completely not irrelevant, but, it's not what I'm playing for. I want to be respected by my teammates and players around the league. And, if you go out there and play every day and, give everything you got every day, that can take you a long ways. And like I've said before, numbers are just numbers. They are what they are. There's a lot more meaning in this game than just numbers, and that's the way I look at it.
Last night you passed Ken Singleton. Now he lives near you. You both played right field for the Orioles. He's a class act. You're a class act. Is there a special bond between players like you and Ken Singleton?
You can say that. You look at those guys. Those guys aren't where they are for, just any rhyme and reason. They, they play the game the right way. They put their time in. They put their work in. They're good teammates, and they had long and successful careers. And that's the mentality and attitude you got to look at it. This is a long season. It could be a short career or a long career, however you look at it. And the biggest thing is just not taking anything for granted, showing up to play every day, and trying to help your team win.
Well, and Nick Markakis will lead off here in the first and passing Ken Singleton, so now he's looking up at Boog Powell. He's in elite company, Mike. There's only 5 ahead of him.
He sure is. I mean, what a great pro. He's a manager's dream, and Buck knows what he's going to get every day, and it's high quality, both offense and defense.
So Bedard ready to go here. And a minute before first pitch time, so the umpires have stopped them. Here's our Train game time temperature. Visit trainsearch.com to find your local Train comfort specialist dealer. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Climate-controlled conditions inside Tropicana Field. No worries about the weather. And Bedard deals, and there's a strike, and we are underway.
Let's take a look at Eric Bedard's pitch arsenal this season. That fastball at 60% of the time, breaking ball 22% of the time, and the change 18%. Now he's got a cutter as well. I mean, you can consider it a breaking ball. He doesn't throw it very hard, but there is a wide range, 82 to 89 with the velocities. Take a look at Bedard's numbers this season. 12 games, 11 starts, at .383 earned run average, 46 strikeouts. 24 balls has hurt him. He hasn't been able to get deep into ball games this year. He hasn't pitched more than 6 innings all year. In 3 of his last 4 starts, he's left before the 5th inning.
Yeah, he throws a lot of pitches, a lot of foul balls. He's ahead of Nick, and it's up and in, 1-2. Well, Markakis last night 2 out of 4, now back to an even .300 on the year. 5 for 27 in his last 7 games, but in his last 21 games, he's batting .318 with 12 RBIs. And the 1-2 is off the plate outside, 2-2.
Talk about Nick Markakis and the success he's had. Of course, getting up there in the career hits, but a huge reason why is because his success off left-handed pitching. I mean, 290 in his career. He's doing it again this season. He keeps that front side in there. He has that great ability to shoot the ball to left field.
And he slaps it to left field, but right there is David DeJesus. Now moves in a step, and he's got it for the out and one away. Here's the Orioles lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. Markakis with Steve Pearce batting second. Good numbers against Tampa Bay, and he's right up there at the top. Jones, Davis, and Cruz with Hardy, Machado, Scope, and Caleb Joseph. And here is Mr. Pearce. Got in the game last night as a pinch hitter and nearly hit a double down the line. He hit it about a 1.5 foot foul down the line.
The Orioles have been needing that big hit to break them out, and they came within a foot of really busting that game wide open.
And missing inside with a breaking ball, so 2-0 on Pearce. Showalter with Nick and John Russell on the bench. And a little low, ball 3. So good eye here by Steve Pearce to get ahead 3-0.
One thing about Bedard, as you look at Steve Pearce's numbers this month, 348 with the double. He uses all of his pitches. He doesn't have the same velocity he had a few years ago. So he relies on a constant mix that kind of helps his fastball play up.
Ooh, high strike call, 3-1. Ron Culp with the crew chief has the plate tonight.
Take a look at the pitch track right up at the top of the strike zone.
Bedard now 35 years old. He's in his 11th big league season, which began with the Orioles.
Bedard actually didn't make this team out of spring training. He was fighting for that 5th spot. They ended up using Odorizzi. There were a couple of big injuries to the starting rotation, so he took an assignment to AAA, and well, he's called up shortly after. Ended up getting into the rotation.
Well, Pearce draws a 1-out walk.
Take a look at the defense behind Bedard tonight. DeJesus, Jennings, and Joyce in the outfield. Escobar at short. Zobrist, who played left field last night, moves to second base. Rodriguez, who played first base last night, is over at third base with Loney at first, and the veteran Molina behind the plate.
Well, here's Adam Jones batting at 298. 1 for 4 last night was a 2-run home run. 12 home runs and 43 RBIs now for Adam. He's got a 2-game hitting streak going, and he's homered in back-to-back games.
Yeah, great numbers this season against lefties. That .414 average with the 4 homers, 8 RBI.
And then he'll look over a strike, and it's 0-1. Now, you made a good point when we talked about Adam and his consistent year and how well he's been hitting. The fact that this year more than ever he is using the entire field.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he made a major adjustment. He's got that right side wide open. I don't know if he's going to be looking to do that early in the ball game, but certainly has that ability. He's been driving the ball, and I think a big key to his success going the other way is just controlling his lower half. I talked a little bit with Wayne Kirby today about that. You know, when his legs and his upper half work together, I mean, he's as good as they come, and he's on this roll right now through the month of June, where he's trusting his hands and he's got his legs in good balance. And even when he's fooled, he keeps his hands back and he uses those legs to keep himself under control. And it's such a dangerous offensive weapon, both speed and power.
Here's Sam with a 1-out walk, just underway at the Trop. Day game tomorrow to close out this 3-game series. Swings at the high breaking ball, skies it to right where Matt Joyce waits. And Jones is retired for the 2nd out. Buck Showalter before the game, when he met with the media, talking about the Rays pitchers, and Bedard certainly falls into this category, how deliberate they are on the mound and how long they take between pitches. And Buck was asking a couple of Tampa Bay reporters, well, why are they doing it? Is it for effect? Is it for design? But he is so right. I mean, they take forever between pitches.
Yeah,
Jim Hickey, the pitching coach there.
Very deliberate. get themselves under control. Be part of it. Just a stall tactic might work sometimes to get into a hitter's head.
And Chris Davis takes a strike. Chris has the batting average now at .224 with his 11 home runs and 33 RBIs. He is just 1 for 14 in his last 4 games. That one hit, a home run. And he is just 4 for his last 32.
He's hit some balls hard, but right into the shift. There have been some bullets hit at second base. Last night, robbed by Rodriguez at first on a line drive. That could have been a potential double.
And Bedard gets ahead of him 0-2. Bedard drafted by the Orioles in the 6th round in 1999. He spent 5 seasons in the Orioles rotation. He was 40 and 34 as an Oriole. And Davis checks at the high fastball, 1-2. And of course, Bedard allowed the Orioles to get Adam Jones and Chris Tillman, who was traded to Seattle, and those 2 very important players on this team were part of the 1 for 5 that Andy McPhail got back from Seattle. There's Chris. One and 2 on Davis with Pearce at first and 2 down. And it's up and in, 2-2.
They've been consistently staying away on Chris Davis here in this the start of this series, primarily up and away. You see on the pitch track, that's where they're trying to target.
A 2-2 on Davis. And he just got a piece of that off-speed pitch. 71 miles an hour, that's off-speed, right?
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, that's a big part of his game. Yeah, the big fluctuation in velocities with all his pitches. That's probably going to be about the slowest you'll see. A very slow changeup, almost like a palm ball. Hits it deep in his hand. He has a good arm cell with it, but he can vary from 71 to 91 with his velocities.
And Davis battling here. And it's upstairs, ball 3. Bedard looking in at Ron Copley. He got that call on Adam Jones. Doesn't get the call on Chris Davis up there.
Right back up in that spot. Chris Davis, a nice job laying off that pitch. Working that outer edge. Up and away.
He's about to see the 7th pitch in this at bat. Pearce will go 3-2 with 2 down. And the payoff pitch is swung on and missed. He got it. So Bedard gets out of it, works around the 1-out walk, and the Orioles go down. Bottom of the 1st coming up. Welcome back to Miguel. Pitching in tonight from Ocean City, Maryland, all part of Birdland, located on the beautiful Eastern Shore. All part of Birdland, of course, and a great vacation spot at Ocean City, Maryland. Get down to the ocean. Here's the Rays lineup for tonight. Jennings, Joyce, and Longoria with Loney now batting cleanup. Ben Zobrist in the number 5 spot. He's all over the lineup and all over the field. 8 for his last 20 with a couple of RBIs. De Jesus with Escobar, Molina, and Rodriguez for Joe Madden.
Let's take a look at Miguel Gonzalez. His pitch arsenal this season. That fastball 56% of the time. Breaking ball 28%. That's a good slider. He can slow down the curve as well. That changeup hits a split finger. He likes it when he gets ahead 16% of the time. Here's his numbers this season. That 4.17 earned run average continues to come down. He's got 50 strikeouts in his 58 1/3 innings of work. Opponents hitting 265. Lefties 233. Righties up to 301. Of course, the 8 home runs on the season. But Miguel, before he went on the disabled list, was on a nice little roll. 4 consecutive quality starts. He's looking to add to that tonight and keep the string of quality starts going for this rotation.
Desmond Jennings takes a high fastball. Jennings 5 out of his last 18. Did have a couple of hits last night. Miguel making his first start since May the 30th. He went on the DL shortly after that. It wasn't really an oblique strain, but there was something going on his side, and the Orioles wanted to make sure they got it before it became something bigger, so they shut him down. And he did go down to Bowie the other day and pitch in a rehab game for the Bay Sox. Bunt attempt and he missed it. 1-2.
Good slider there. Great location. On this Rays offense has kind of been scuffling as well, even though they've been picking up a few wins here recently. They beat the Orioles in last night's ball game. They haven't been able to put a lot of hits together. So Jennings here at the top of the order trying to spark the offense with that bunt attempt.
Now Miguel activated for this start, and to make room, Josh Stinson has been designated for assignment. So the bullpen tonight is 6 strong, and there are 6 starters now active on this team. 1-2 pitch misses low. So the bullpen tonight, 3 righties, Hunter, Webb, and O'Day, and 3 lefties, McFarland, Mattis, and Britton. And there are the guys in the bullpen down the left field line. 2-2 on Jennings. And foul back.
Good fastball, a couple nice breaking balls at the bottom of the zone. That tries to rush that fastball up by Jennings. One thing Miguel would like to do is avoid as many foul balls as Wei and Chen had in last night's ball game.
Backs him off the plate inside. Ball 3. Miguel, like Bud Norris, will go inside, and Miguel has hit 5 batters on the year. Hitters just don't look for the pitch inside. They're so expecting it to be out over the plate. And a high fly ball, shallow right center. Who's it going to be? Jones, Markakis. Mr. Jones has it for the out, 1 away.
Let's take a look at the Orioles defense, brought to you by Chevrolet. Cruz, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield. Hardy and Scope up the middle. Machado and Davis once again on the corners, and Caleb Joseph behind the plate.
Who did not play in the game last night. 266 on the year, but he's batting .320 here at Tropicana Field. Ground ball towards the middle. Hardy tries for it, and just under his glove for a base hit. So Joyce, first ball swinging, gets on with a 1-out single. That was a worm burner.
Yeah, Joyce knows where the holes are here at the Trop. That great batting average at home. See him, a pretty good fastball down and away. But on this turf, it scoots through. Nice effort by J.J. Hardy. He was shaded in the middle and knew that he had to range over there on the second base side, but it could just under his glove.
Evan Longoria DHing tonight. He's got a 5-game hitting streak going. 8 home runs, 32 ribbies. So each team in the first getting a base runner on after one down. And a strike taken by Longoria. Miguel 3-4 on the year. He has 23 big league wins. A winning pitcher in the bigs, 23-16 overall. He is facing Tampa Bay for a second time this year. And down and away. Evan Longoria, he is the face of this franchise, no doubt about it. Now 28 years old already in his 7th season. And this Tampa Bay's first round pick in 2006, the 3rd overall pick out of Long Beach State. Upstairs with a fastball. Miguel misses 2-1. But Miguel, after spending all that time on the side, not pitching in a major league game since May 30th, Mikey, is pretty good giddy up on that fastball for him.
Yeah, he does. I mean, Miguel, throughout his career here with the Orioles, he's really he's had that fastball velocity in the low 90s, but depends so much on location, his ability to move it in and out.
Machado backs up to play the hop to second, out there, back to first, not in time. Good try there by Scope, but they get the lead runner at 2 down.
Let's take a look at Tampa Bay's offensive numbers, brought to you by Jeep. This is inside the numbers. They have really been hot the last 5 games. Of course, the 4 wins. Runs per game up to 4.8. Hits per game at 9.4. That batting average up as well. The previous 15, though, my gosh, the offense was in a slump. 1-14 record. 2.3 runs per game to 7.3 hits. Look at that batting average down to 226. On base percentage down as well. And they are not an offensive juggernaut, but they need to produce a little bit to help their pitching, and that's what they've done here the last 5 games. Just enough to come away with some wins. They've been close wins, finding the ability to pick up that big hit. Back-to-back games where they've gotten pinch hit base. Well, last night was a home run, and the day before out in Houston they got a pinch hit base hit to take the lead as well.
Both by Jerry Sands. Right. He has worked his way into a bench role. Joe Madden said before the game today on his radio show that he was reluctant to put Sands in the starting lineup tonight because he liked how he performed the day before, getting the pinch hit to win the game. So Sands, by doing his job too well, earns a spot on the bench for later in the game.
Right.
1-1 on Loney. He's got a 3-game hitting streak going. Breaking ball a little low.
Well, the Orioles know how beneficial that is. They have a couple, of course. Delman Young has had a fabulous year coming off the bench, picking up the base hit. Steve Pearce as well. Those pinch hitting numbers for the Orioles right up at the top.
Longoria at first with 2 down. And the fastball's outside, ball 3. Loney has 20 multi-hit games and 20 extra base hits. Pretty much straight away. Machado wide at third. And he walked him. So Miguel allows the walk. That puts 2 on with 2 down and puts a runner into scoring position. And this is one of those law of averages at bats that you don't like to see. Tampa Bay is second to last in the American League with runners in scoring position at 227. And Zobrist is just 1 for his last 32 in these situations when he's got a runner in scoring position. There are his numbers overall. And the breaking ball's low, 1-0.
Gonzalez thinking he's going to be a little over aggressive here in this situation. Starts him off with that off-speed pitch, but he doesn't bite. Pretty good pitch down in the zone.
And misses outside with a fastball 2-0, and Caleb Joseph now out for a chat.
Losing a lot of fastballs to that arm side. That front shoulder opening up just a little too soon.
Dave Wallace looking on from the Oriole bench. And the pitch count already at 19 here in the first inning. Very late on that swing, 2-1. He must have been looking off speed there. Wow.
Real good fastball. Velocity clicked up a little bit, 92 miles an hour. He must have been looking off speed. A little late on that offering. Good location there. You see the pitch track down in the zone. All 3 pitches.
Two on, 2 out. Here's the 2-1. Lifted to center field for Jones. Adam in on it, and then Miguel gets out of it. So a single, a walk, and 2 men left. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Pete. No score. $100 for being selected, and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit in the game tonight. You can play the Orioles scratch off in the Maryland Lottery for your chance to be a contestant of the game, win a trip to see the O's play at Wrigley Field or to the World Series. Learn more at mdlottery.com/Orioles. A lot of O's fans here during the national anthem. We heard a loud "Oh!" here in this dome. Nelson Cruz leads off against Bedard. Up and away from Bedard, 1-0. Nelson picked up an RBI last night, still leads the league in both homers and RBIs. And he has dominated opposing pitching in road games on the year. He's hitting .345 on the road. He's got 14 home runs on the road, and he's got 43 RBIs on the road. Off-speed pitch that he thought was wide of the plate. It's a called strike, 2-1.
A slow pitch there, 81 miles an hour.
Outside ball 3, went back to the same spot. Cruz has got 48 at-bats since his last home run, which was hit on June 3rd in Texas. And He swings through at 3-2. Cruz requested time. Ron Culpo didn't grant it, but Bedard didn't pitch. And then the 3-2 is hit hard right to second base. There's Zobrist. And one away as Cruz is retired to begin the second. Let's get a look at our Jeep inside the numbers, Mike. Let's go inside the series.
Well, the Orioles really dominating up until last night's ball game with the 5 wins. They've been able to put the runs up as well, averaging 4.3 runs per game, batting average up, runners in scoring position up. The earned run or starters earned run average way down to 2.57, just outplaying the Rays so far this season. It was a close ball game last night. The Orioles had some opportunities, but the Rays were able to pick up the timely hits at the end.
Strike one to J.J. Hardy. Now, JJ's been getting his hits. Bedard has been giving up base hits, just over a hit per inning. But JJ's hitting 2 in a row, and he's got back-to-back multi-hit games. Goes the other way with it. Hangs up for Matt Joyce. And 2 down here in the second. Hardy retired for the second out. And here's Manny Machado, who's down in the number 7 spot tonight. And whenever Buck Showalter changes his lineup and moves a hitter who more so than not is in the same spot, he gets asked about it before the game and said he just liked the matchup with Pearce in there. Pearce has been swinging a hot bat, so he put him in the number 2 spot. Skied the left, De Jesus charging in. And Machado's retired on 1 pitch, and the Orioles go 3 up and 3 down. So Bedard has a quick inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Buck of the Birds, no score in Tampa. Night, 7 runs in 6 innings in a loss to Kansas City. 4.98 season ERA, 91st out of 99 qualifiers in the ERA title. Amazing, the ace of that staff. Ruby De La Rosa, the Red Sox, 1 hit through 7 innings and picked up a win against the Twins. And the Cubs have quietly offered a long-term deal to Jeff Samardzija to keep him in Chicago as long as Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo. Those two are signed through 2019. Castro has an option for 2020. Rizzo has 2 options through 2021. But if they've quietly reached out, how do we know about it?
Yeah,
believe it.
What does that mean, quietly offered?
There's a nice Orioles fan with his dad. He's got his glove, hoping for a foul ball, and Mr. Jones gave him a baseball. That's nice for Adams. See, Adams, a new daddy. He's noticing the youngsters now in the stands.
Right.
The Manny Machado jersey, custom made. And super small. What a nice gesture there by Adam. 1-1 on David DeJesus. So I guess quietly reaching out means they didn't tell the media. He just went to his agent and said, hey, how about this?
Yeah.
Did you get a call?
No.
Bouncer off the glove, knocked down by Gonzalez, and that'll be a base hit for DeJesus. So a leadoff single for DeJesus, who hit it hard. Miguel got his glove on it, but all he did was slow it down.
You see, this ball may have been headed out to center field anyway. Gonzalez trying to flag it down. Slows it up so this Orioles infield can't make a play on it.
So the veteran DeJesus on with the leadoff single. And here is Yunel Escobar. Escobar, as he was last night, way up there in the box, and a big healthy cut, and he swung through it.
He jumped on a chin fastball in last night's ball game. Almost looked like he was cheating on that inner third. A solo shot back in the first inning.
He is just 7 for his last 35. That is a 200 clip, and that home run last night, his first in a month. Last night was June 16th. His last one was May 16th prior to that. Miguel's fastball command early on here has been inconsistent. The velocity's been good. He just hasn't been able to throw for strikes.
Well, we talk time and time again about these Orioles pitchers. They're able to throw that fastball for strikes. It certainly helps their off-speed pitches play up. Miguel typically very good at that ability to work his fastball in and out. Occasionally start hitters off with a breaking ball to get ahead. Of course, his big finish pitch, that split finger.
Ball and a strike on Escobar. Check swing at a breaking ball. He didn't mean to swing, but the ball hit the bat. 1-2. Well, Miguel made the rehab start at Bowie. That was last Wednesday. Brady Anderson, the Orioles VP of baseball operations, was actually here on the trip. He went down to monitor that, and Brady said it almost wasn't fair to the AA hitters. Miguel was so much better, and as Brady put it, he just sliced through the hitters. So for Miguel, it was all about getting out of it healthy, which he did, and here he is back in the big leagues. 1-2 pitch just inside of the fastball. 2-2.
Good try right there. Missing in off the plate is fine. You just don't want to miss inside on the plate. See that fourth pitch as it ran in. Miguel consistently working away. I'd be surprised if that was a pitch just to kind of open up the outside corner.
In the dirt, doesn't chase it. Nice block there by Caleb Joseph.
Caleb's done a nice job defensively behind the plate here for the Orioles. See the spiked slider, and Caleb sliding over to keep it in front. It's off soft and just rolls a couple feet away from him to keep DeJesus at first.
Let's see if Joe Madden puts DeJesus in motion here. 3-2. He does not go. Ripped hard to Machado, who backhands to second one. Scope back to first, and the scope by Davis, and they turn the double play. And Scope hung his ground in there despite DeJesus about to barrel through him.
A beautiful double play here for the Orioles. Manny Machado, that ball looks like it kicked back on him, somehow able to glove it. But look at that nice turn by Jonathan Schoop. Gets his feet up a little bit. De Jesus right on top of him. And Chris Davis with a nice pick on the end. A couple of youngest players in the game right now, executing a beautiful 5-4-3 double play.
And the Orioles turning their 84th double play of the season. Here's Jose Molina. He swings through it 0-1. Molina at 141. He actually has a 2-game hitting streak going. 14 hits on the year. They've all been singles. And he pops up the breaking pitch, shallow right, Schoop over. He tells Markakis, I'll take it, and he does, and Miguel gets out of it. So leadoff hit and none left. We're through 2 at Tropicana Field. O's and Rays, no score. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By 5 Hour Energy helps recognizes those who, despite their own needs, put others first. And by Luna. For beautiful new carpet, hardwood, and laminate, call 877-241-LUNA. Well, that's how Mike Bordick spent his afternoon. At the Masson chopper following Bordy to make sure he was okay. And there's the Rays tank out there in deep right center field. Kids love going out there and petting the Rays. Bedard getting set to work on Schoop. Joseph and Markakis will follow. And there's an off-speed pitch for a strike. Jonathan at 224. He is just 4 for his last 25. That is a 160 clip. Trying to navigate his way through his rookie season. Every day it's an adjustment. Hard hit ball and a base hit in the left field past the dive of Sean Rodriguez. So the Orioles get a leadoff runner on in their first hit of the night. Well, fans, don't miss your chance to lock in seats now to the best remaining games of the season. You can enjoy Major League savings by reserving your Birdland Summer 6-pack. Now, you'll get a ticket to any of 6 games of your choice throughout the remainder of the season with savings of up to 20% off the cost of single game tickets. Lock in your seats now for the most anticipated games and the promotions of the summer and save. For all the details, Orioles.com/6-pack or call 888-848-VERB. Ball 1 to Caleb Joseph. Caleb is 0 for his last 7 and 2 for his last 19. But he does not take it in the field. He's been playing very, very well behind the plate.
Yeah, it's been a little frustrating offensively for Caleb Joseph because he enjoyed a couple real good offensive years in the minor leagues. Getting an opportunity here, but There's been quite a void since Matt Wieters has gone on the disabled list. See Wieters' numbers last season, the 21 home runs. That's tied most among American League catchers and 76 RBIs this season. With Wieters now recovering from Tommy John surgery, Hundley and Joseph. It's a 132 overall batting average with no home runs. So that's one of the reasons why the Orioles offense has been kind of treading water here recently. I'd like to see a little bit more production. Of course, calling a good game has been a big part of the pitcher's success here, so maybe a little bit of a trade-off there. Of course, you get the full package with Matt Wieters, and he was off to a great start offensively this season. Had the 5 home runs and 18 RBIs in just the 26 games before he was sidelined.
1-2 on Joseph. Bedard stares at Scope, and he got it. So Joseph down on strikes and 1 away. Second strikeout for Bedard. Of course, Tampa Bay is a strikeout team, and Bedard gets one here.
Working away to Caleb Joseph, and hits a spot again. The fastball at 88.
Tampa Bay now has 608 strikeouts as a staff as Markakis comes up for his second at bat. Only Cleveland has more than those 608. And the Orioles do strike out their fair share. They're a very aggressive team at the plate, the O's. Speed pitch up and in, 1-0. And swings through a fastball, 1-1. Eric Bedard traded to Seattle for the 2008 season. Spent 2.5 years with the Mariners, went 15-14. And the Rays are his 5th team in the last 4 years. He has been with Seattle, Boston, Pittsburgh, Houston, and now Tampa Bay in the last 5 years. Keeping the career going at the age of 35. Nick fouls it back, 1-2. He has not had a winning season, Mike, since 2009. 5 years ago, he was 5-3 with Seattle in an injury-plagued year. Last season, he spent the entire year with the Astros, and he went 4-12.
Well, it's been a tough go, but he's been able to add some stability. With the injuries to the rotation here, and this one Hellickson comes back, they're going to have to make a decision. Potentially Bedard could slide into the bullpen and offer some long relief options.
Yeah, I was wrong earlier. He just threw 69, so 71 wasn't the slowest. It's almost Ephus pitch speed.
Yeah.
2-2 on Nick. Scope at first. 1 down, no score. And fouls back the breaking ball. Markakis now with 27 multi-hit games, tops on the team. He was 0 for 4 Sunday, and of course bounced back last night. In his last 21 games, he's got hitless in back-to-back games once. He just has a knack for finding his stroke and getting a base hit to get rid of any kind of an 0 for he's on.
There's not a lot that can go wrong with his approach. Very sound. Not a lot of movement. He has the ability to pull the hands inside and really keep that bat head through the strike zone a long time. So he's not afraid to work the count and let it get deeper.
Well, Buck was saying before the game, one of the reasons he succeeds is that it's not about him, it's about him helping the team. So he has the attitude of the ego is out of it, it's removed. It's all about doing his best to help the team. Full count on him. And there's a bouncer through the hole for a base hit. Schoop is hustling around second. He's trying for third. Here's the throw. He is safe with a slide. Aggressive base running, and a real good job there by Bobby Dickerson to tell Schoop, come on around.
A good piece of hitting by Nick Markakis, finding that hole over there with Jonathan Schoop at first base. Finally gets a pitch he can handle. Gets the bat head out in front. See Jonathan Schoop on his horse. Now he's thinking about it. He gets a good read. Nice aggressive base running by Schoop, and you see Bobby Dickerson fired up over at third base. Orioles have to do that more. They have to stay aggressive on the bases. Get some good secondary leads.
Well, Schoop ran until he was stopped, and he wasn't stopped. So he picked up Dickerson right away, and because of that, he was able to make it all the way to third. So here's Pearce, runners on the corners with one down. And he swings through it off-speed pitch. So let's see, we've seen 69, 71, 79. And this is not the pitcher that Bedard was with the Orioles.
He changes speeds throughout the at-bat. Really nothing you can sit on except a zone, and I think this Oriole offense has to start looking up in the zone.
Well, lowest opposing batting average against pitchers with runners in scoring position, and Bedard is on this list.
It's a pretty good list as well. Kazmir, Darvish, Burley, Norris on the list, Tanaka, and there's Bedard. So he bears down when runners get in scoring position. And a lot of times I think hitters get over anxious, and good pitchers tend to feed off their anxiety and aggressiveness.
Here's fouls it back, so Bedard gets ahead of him 1-2. Steve walked his first at bat. Schoop at third, Markakis at first with one down. Orioles with a chance to get on the board here. These are the situations that have plagued the Orioles the past 10 games. Hitting with runners in scoring position. Last 10 games, they've batted .213 in these situations. 1-2 on Pearce. And in the dirt, he lays off.
Good take right there by Steve Pearce. Trying to be in too much of a hurry now. He's seen his off-speed pitches. He's seen them all. Steve Pearce plenty of bat speed, so he can try to keep those hands back. Bedard, nothing that can really throw by Steve Pearce.
And the 2-2 is swung on and lifted foul down the right side. It's back out of play in the small crowd here tonight. Jonathan Schoop at third. He singled leading off the inning. He was pushed to third on the base hit by Markakis, who's at first. And a good take. Fastball's upstairs, 3-2. All right, so here's decision time for Buck. Do you send Nick, knowing that there's a pitcher who has the ability to strike you out on the mound? Do you send him to avoid the double play? Or do you play it safe? Let's see what Buck decides here.
You see the pitch track all over the place to Steve Pearce and all kinds of different pitches.
He does not go, and it's inside ball 4. Breaking ball in the dirt. So here are the Orioles now with the bases loaded and only one down, and Pearce has walked twice tonight.
Good patience right there by Steve Pearce after coming out of his shoes on the first pitch. Ends up winning that battle there. Forces Bedard to throw a lot of pitches. Gets the bases loaded with the one out. One of the hottest hitters in the month of June steps up to the plate.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do that. Walk the bases loaded for the hottest hitter on the team. Adam flied out to right his first at bat. Big chance for the Orioles early on here. Bases loaded, one down. Bedard will stay from the stretch. First ball swinging, fouled it off. So Adam guessing fastball, he got it. And he's down 0-1.
That one just riding up and in on Adam.
You know, Mike, you talk all the time about the best thing a player could be is consistent, and it's what every player aspires to do. Well, Adam Jones has gone hitless in back-to-back games this year. One time. All season. This is the Orioles' 70th game.
That's impressive. He's got a good game plan and he stuck with it.
There are 8 players in all of Major League Baseball who have gone back-to-back games without a hit once. And one of those, Chase Utley, has not done it at all. It hasn't happened to him all year. Michael Brantley, Victor Martinez, Brett Gardner, Robinson Cano, Melky Cabrera, Justin Morneau, and Puig along with Adam. And a good take. And I'm actually kind of surprised that Yasiel Puig is on that list because he's such a free swinger.
Right. Adam Jones, he's pretty much a free swinger too. Showing some good patience here. Tough pitch as it faded away, the off-speed pitch.
Good numbers against Bedard. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. Fouls it straight back this way.
Adam Jones seeing his best fastball right there at 91 miles an hour. So really trying to break the rhythm and timing of the Orioles hitters. Real slow and a bit firmer. A couple fastballs up and in to Jones.
The bases loaded. And one down, Orioles trying to get on the board in the third. And the 2-2 to Jones. Outside, gets by Molina. Here comes Scope to the plate, and he will score. So the Orioles get a break, and they get the lead as Scope comes in from third.
We'll take that. Bedard loses this one arm side. Look at it just take off. Molina does all he can to try to hold on to it. Catches up in the top of the web. Shakes away. And Jonathan Scope with a good read. Will score easily for the Orioles' first run. Nice little job by Jonathan Scope picking up the base hit, going first to third, and getting them on the board.
And the other 2 runners move up second and third. 3-2 now on Adam. And inside, it hit him. It did hit him. Fortunately, it was a breaking ball, and it was a very off-speed breaking ball, but it still hit Adam.
Yeah, caught him on the ankle there. Of course, that pad on the instep. Not a lot of meat down there to protect. You see it on his front foot. You see that pad there for foul ball protection, but not protection from a pitch that's being thrown.
So Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, out as Adam talks to Wayne Kirby at first. Yeah, even with the pad, it hurts. Well, Ron Culpa goes out to break up the chat. Well, Adam's smiling, so that's good. Somebody's giving it to him from the dugout, and Wayne Kirby, of course, is encouraging that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the bases again loaded, still only 1 down. And here is Chris Davis. Chris struck out his first at bat. Orioles have a huge opportunity for a crooked number inning here. And Richie Bancells is the one who is getting on Jones from the bench. Well, maybe Wayne was saying, come on out and look at this guy. You're the trainer. And Richie knew better of that.
I knew Adam was going to wave him off anyway.
On 1 on Davis. And he swings through it 0-2. Here's Kirby Yates, a right-hander, getting loose. Davis 4 for his last 33 with 15 strikeouts, and he's 0-2 in this at bat in the third. High fly ball left field down the line. Over is De Jesus in the corner. Foul ball. It's a fair ball. And he runs into the wall. And he is down and he is hurt. They are circling the bases here. Adam Jones will get to third and Davis to second. It was heading to the corner. And De Jesus ran out of room and then he pounded into the wall.
Wow, he hit that hard too. And that ball was fading away and he tried to catch up. It might have been a home run. Let's see. Oh, man, he hit hard. Question is, did it hit off the foul pole?
And Buck is out there asking Lance Barrett, the third base umpire, if he saw that. Now, of course, if it's a possible home run call, they can just go review it. It doesn't have to be a challenge.
I don't know where else that ball would have hit to come back the way it did. Take a look. De Jesus giving chase.
Oh yeah, that hit the foul pole. That's a grand slam. That is a grand slam. Good camera work there by the crew. That absolutely hit that foul pole.
Yes, it did.
So they're going to review Lance Barrett, who made the call, and Ron Coppola, who is the crew chief and has the plate tonight. Chris Davis is about to be awarded with a grand slam once they see this. That ball absolutely hit the foul pole. Outstanding camera work.
This is a crew chief review.
The Orioles have hit 2 grand slams on the year. Chris Davis is about to give the Orioles the third once this is looked at and confirmed. Really good effort there by De Jesus.
Oh my gosh, I mean, he gave it all he had, just ran out of real estate there. That 315 mark came up quicker than he thought.
Yep, here we go. We'll get the announcement here. And there you go. That's a grand slam. And Chris doesn't know it yet. Now he sees it. And that is the right call. So that is a grand slam, and it's 5-0 O's here in the third.
That's how to break out of an offensive downtime right there. Big grand slam by Crush Davis.
Number 12 for Chris Davis.
So a real nice at bat. And Bedard got ahead with a couple good fastballs and then went back to that spot up and away. And he just showed how strong he is. Just kind of reached up there and flicked at it down the left field line for a big grand slam.
And we want to congratulate Brittany Rowe of Owings Mills. She has just won another $500 for being the Maryland Lottery contestant of the game. Chris Davis's second grand slam of the year, and the Orioles' third. Manny Machado has the other one.
Time of delay 1 minute 18 seconds.
So now David De Jesus feels even worse. He got over there, made a great effort, ran into the wall, and it hit the foul pole. Cruz swings through it 1-2. There's still only one out in the inning.
Yeah, Bedard's pitch count getting up there, 62 right now. This Orioles offense really putting together some good at bats.
And then a foul ball to stay alive. A walk and a hit batter have scored in this inning. So have the 2 singles. So 12 home runs and now 37 RBIs for Chris Davis. And Cruz fights it off to stay alive. Now that's interesting, Mike. When the bases loaded, we saw Kirby Yates getting loose. As soon as that call became a grand slam, Joe Madden had him sit down in the bullpen. Breaking ball bends around the plate outside.
Well, I think now there might have been an opportunity to keep it close, and now with the big grand slam, Orioles putting up a big crooked number here in this inning. He's got to have Bedard just try to eat up some innings here, but man, the pitch count up. He's had some early exits this season.
Yeah, he has had 5 starts this year of less than 5 innings. 5 of his 11. Chris Davis, the grand slam, getting the Orioles the big lead here in the 3rd inning. Upstairs with a breaking ball, so 3-2.
With Nelson Cruz, that 705 road slugging percentage this season, it's the highest since Brady Anderson did it back in '96 with the 713. Brady hit 50 home runs that year.
Cruz skies it to right. Matt Joyce circling around it. And he's got it for the 2nd out here in the inning. Fans, you can win signed gear courtesy of Masson. Just follow @MassonOrioles on Instagram and tag your Orioles fan photos with the hashtag MassonOrioles, and you'll automatically be entered to win autographed memorabilia. Being social with Masson has its rewards. Now that's a cool hat.
Yeah, that's some good gear right there.
Maybe you can win that.
Yeah, look good with the fedora collection.
I have an outstanding photo for the hashtag Masson contest with Mike Bordick wearing a fedora. But I've been banned for revealing it. You look good in the fedora.
Well, thank you very much.
I didn't. I was told that by everybody. Bonnie said there are no words. And Jimmy said, hey, that's a good hat for radio. So the fedora's home in the closet. And Hardy takes inside for ball 3. Bedard is really scuffling this inning. He's thrown 42 pitches this inning. Chris Davis took one deep for a grand slam off the foul pole.
This is what this Orioles offense can do. They can really explode. It's good to. They haven't done it in a while. It's good to see them come together here. Very solid inning. But starting pitcher to throw a lot of pitches. The goal is to try to get into that bullpen as soon as possible.
Hardy a mile high to left. Shallow left. It's Escobar, the shortstop, that's calling. And he has it for the out, and the inning ends. But what an inning for the Orioles. The Birds score 5-4 on an opposite field off the foul pole grand slam for Chris Davis. 15th, 1999. The score tied 5-5 in the 10th. Orioles first baseman Will Clark picked up his 2,000th career hit. Yes, he asked for the baseball. That single put Albert Bell into scoring position, and the Orioles would walk it off and beat Kansas City 6-5. The thrill would end his 15-year career the following season with 2,176 base hits. Chris Davis just hits him far. Here is Sean Rodriguez against Miguel Gonzalez. First ball swinging down the line towards the corner, and that is a home run. It hit the catwalk overhead. Coming around is Rodriguez. There's been no there's finally a signal by the home plate umpire, Ron Culpa. The third base umpire, Lance Barrett, looked at Ron Culpa as if to say, what do I call? It hit the catwalk overhead, and Buck Showalter's out for an explanation.
I think he's questioning if it was fair or foul. You see the ball go up there, and he actually crushed this ball way off that top catwalk. I think Buck was just wondering if it was fair. I'm not going to review that one.
So Rodriguez gets Tampa Bay on the board, jumping on the first pitch. The angle we saw looked like it might have been foul.
Yeah.
Here's Desmond Jennings. So we have had two very unusual home runs in this game.
A lot of different things can happen in this ballpark with all the rafters. And
well, they're always trying to enhance the fans' experience here. They do have trouble drawing. And their latest thing is way out there in left center field that they constructed when the Rays were in Houston over the weekend. There's a strike taken. Right there, there's a concourse out there. Now you can just walk down and watch the game from field level. That wasn't there last week. And when the Rays got home and came out here last night, Joe Madden was asked about it. He said, what are you talking about? He had no idea that they did it. This ball's hit deep to left field. And that ball's going to get out of here. Desmond Jennings hits it out. They go back to back, and it's 5-2.
one thing Miguel wanted to do was have a shutdown inning after the Orioles put up the 5 runs, but Jennings gets the fastball inside. It's about belt level, and he's staying short. He gets the bat head on it. It's up the second home run of this inning. Back-to-back shots now, Rodriguez and Jennings.
Well, here's Matt Joyce, still nobody out. Ball 1 inside. So the Rays go back-to-back. Swing and a miss. Might have been the splitter. That ball had a lot of movement on it. Joyce singled his first at bat. Miguel has allowed hits in each of the first 3 innings here. And swings through it again, 1-2.
Big pitch, almost the same pitch that he hit for the base hit up the middle on his first at bat. A little extra life on the end to get it off the end for a swing and miss.
One and 2 on Joyce. Throws it off. Joyce is now hitting 5 straight games and continues to hit very well here at home. And another foul. Miguel, his first start for the O's since May the 30th off the DL for this start. He's now allowed 10 home runs and 7 have been hit by right-handed batters. So ahead of Joyce 1-2. And he got it.
Waiting for that split finger. Finally throws it to Joyce, able to get it down in the zone. Big swing and miss pitch here. You see that late fade away. 84 miles an hour. Bread and butter strikeout pitch.
The first strikeout of the night. Here's Evan Longoria DHing tonight. Bounced into a force play his first at bat. Up and in 1-0. The Orioles have put together 8 consecutive quality starts, and the starters' combined ERA in those 8 games 1.86. Chris Tillman part of that. Chris will pitch over the weekend in New York. Bounce towards the hole at short. Hardy backhands, plants, and a long throw got him. Wow, what a nice play by JJ, and 2 men down. Fans, the Orioles are back home next Monday. They'll begin a 3-game series with the White Sox. And don't forget about Tuesday. It is Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All the upper reserve seats just $9 when you purchase them in advance. So gather up your family and friends and come on out and save with an affordable night of Orioles baseball. Get your tickets. Just go to Orioles.com or call 888-848-BIRD. Here's James Loney with 2 outs and the bases empty. And fouls it off. Buck Showalter said before the game that in New York they would stay on turn with the rotation. And in looking how the rotation was before Gonzalez came back tonight, it looks like it'll be Jimenez, then Norris, then Tillman Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which means Tillman will have a week between starts. This ball's hit the center field. Jones in on it and makes a running try that got off his glove. Loney's trying for 2 and then puts on the brakes. That was a smart play, putting on the brakes. It must have gone right off the heel of the glove. Adam knew it was sinking, and he tried to get in on it, and it looked like it went right off the heel.
Well, he got there in time. Ball hanging up a little bit. I mean, his glove was there as he reaches out right off the top of the glove. And you see his frustration going back for it. Good break on that ball. Sometimes real tough to read when they're straight at you, but that was one he should have had.
And they're going to call that an E8, so the score agrees. And here's Zobers. Right to scope at second. Zobers for a second time swings at the first pitch and makes an out. So the error doesn't hurt, but Tampa Bay gets back in it. Couple of solo home runs. We'll head to the 4th. 5-2 O's. Contributes $50 to support Be More for Healthy Babies. The Orioles so far have drawn 171 walks for a total of $8,550. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and a more active lifestyle. Eric Bedard, 44 pitches in the third inning. He's at 74 as he begins the fourth. This has been a strange game. Here's Machado, the only Oriole not to bat in the third. Big breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
We got to keep the pressure on. Bedard, some good at bats in that last inning. A lot of high pitch counts throughout at bats, a base on balls. Markakis ran the count to 3-2. Adam Jones.
He has walked two, he has hit a batter, and he hit Adam on a 3-2 pitch. Just as easily could have been a walk. And Manny fights it off to stay alive. Manny 7 for his last 21, so a 333 clip. Working him away, so he fouls it off away. And there's Adam's friend. He got a foul ball after Adam gave him a ball. He's got 2 for the night.
Wow, what a day.
Machado left field, way up there in the sky. And De Jesus runs it down. Oh, wait a minute, we're indoors. Way up there in the roof. Now time for all you fans to tweet in your photos using the hashtag #MASSNFanPhotos. It's your chance to have it shown in a future broadcast. All brought to you by AT&T. Yeah, it was way up there. This is a very strange ballpark. Jonathan Scope looks over breaking ball.
Saw De Jesus having some trouble, of course, on Chris Davis's grand slam. A little late getting over there, and even on Machado's ball right there, he's a little tentative. It's tough to pick up this roof. Have good concentration. He's actually smiling about that last one. I think the fans giving him a hard time down there on the left field line.
You got 4 catwalks in here that holds the roof up. So the catwalks are factored into the ground rules. And going down strikes a Scope. So Bedard gets the first 2 here in the fourth, and he's doing what Miguel was unable to do, trying to get through an inning after his team scored to get his team back up.
Pretty good fastball here. Real good location, kind of cutting itself in under the hands of Scope.
Caleb Joseph now. Slow breaking ball for a strike. Caleb struck out his first at bat. He's now 0 for his last 8. Way outside for ball 2.
A lot of times you look at hitters and if they're struggling, there are reasons why that front side pulls out. A lot of times just too soon. Okay. Some nice quiet takes here in this at bat.
He hit a ball last night here that if he hits the same ball at Camden Yards probably goes out. He hit it to the deepest part. It's 410 out there where we showed you where that new venue is, where the fans could view at field level. And that's where Caleb hit it to that warning track. Camden Yards, that's in the bullpen. Yeah. Big chopper towards short. Escobar gets it there just in time to get Caleb Joseph, and Bedard has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Time for a late afternoon snack, 5-2. In a fight with Wayne Kirby, who just laughs it off. Adam Jones makes a new friend down the right field line. Jonathan Scope, Nick Markakis got a rally going in the third. And then Chris Davis hit your average opposite field off the flagpole after it's reviewed. It's a grand slam, and the Orioles have a 5-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the fourth. There's Adam's friend. He also got a foul ball down there, so he's got 2 baseball souvenirs tonight, but one given to him, handed to him by Adam Jones. And maybe he'll go get a number 10 jersey now.
Right.
He's wearing a Manny Machado jersey. That is on Mr. Ripken. Miguel allowed back-to-back solo home runs to begin the third. Exactly 50 pitches, Mike, to get through 3 innings.
Started with a little bit of command. That fastball command is off earlier in that first inning. He settled in, a couple of solo shots there in the third. But bounced back to get out of that inning. I think Miguel's looking all right. Starting to mix up his pitches a little bit more.
Want to know on DeJesus, who singled his first at bat. Here's a strike. David DeJesus played in college at Rutgers in New Jersey. Line to center field, and that'll fall base hit. And the man from Rutgers is 2 for 2. Time for our PNC minor league report, brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you. And Michael Burgess, Mike, at Frederick is putting together quite a season. How about those last 12 games?
Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, 455 batting average, 4 home runs, 13 RBI, and this season, great numbers as well. 319 overall. I mean, very productive. Of course, he was a first-round pick back in 2007 by the Nationals. Bounced around a little bit, but the Orioles giving him a shot. And he's certainly doing a good job there in Frederick.
Well, the leadoff man is on for a 3rd straight inning. And here's Escobar. Foul down, looked like off his foot.
Escobar cheating in there again on that first pitch. If there was enough late life on the fastball from Gonzalez to get him.
Escobar hit into a double play his first at bat on a hard shot that Manny Machado backhanded. You see, he's way up there in the box. Fouls off the off-speed pitch. It's 0-2. And Kirby makes another play. Chris Tillman thought he found the quiet end of the dugout, hanging out watching the game. And
not if you're down there with Kerr. Nothing quiet about that.
Well, 0-2 the count on Escobar. Fastball too high. Miguel has struck out one, he has walked one in the 2 runs he's allowed on solo homers. Gonzalez ahead of him 1-2. Escobar's had an interesting career. He defected from Cuba and then established residency. He went through the draft, and the Braves drafted him in 2005 in the 2nd round. And he made it to the big leagues and was Atlanta's everyday shortstop. And then at the All-Star break in 2010, he was traded during the All-Star break to Toronto. Hey, that's unheard of. Hey, have a good break, and by the way, you're not coming back.
All right.
So off he went to the Blue Jays. And he lays off the off-speed pitch, and Toronto traded him to Miami as part of that huge 11-player deal when Toronto got Reyes and Burley, and all the young guys went down to Miami. And Miami then turned around a couple of weeks later and traded him here to Tampa Bay. And when the Rays got him, they signed him to an extension. They feel like he's their guy at age 31 to solidify shortstop. But real strange situation being traded on an All-Star break. Big bouncer to third. Manny fields. That's a fair ball. The long throw across got him. What an arm for Manny Machado. And then one away here in the 4th.
Yeah, nice play here. We saw a chopper last night that Longoria couldn't do much with. And here a high chopper as well. Manny Machado, he's already preloading on that backside to make this strong throw to get Escobar by a half step. You see him jump up. That back foot gets down. I mean, that's beautiful timing and showing off the arm once again.
DeJesus moves to second, checking out the infielders. Here's Jose Molina. Breaking ball a little low, 1-0. Jose's now 39 years old in his 15th season. He's here in Tampa now for a 3rd year as their backup catcher. Real good off-speed pitch there. That might have been the splitter. That had a lot of movement. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, good location there. Down in the zone. Molina giving chase, so saw it initially. Maybe just a little over aggressive, swinging out of the hand. A lot of at bats for Molina this year, and you see the batting average down.
Ball and a strike on Molina. DeJesus bothering Gonzalez, so he steps off. DeJesus, as a younger player, was a pretty good base stealer. Doesn't really run for stolen bases anymore, but he's still a good base runner. Now 34 years old. One and two on Molina. Molina has now played for 3 of the 5 teams in the AL East. He's played for the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and now the Rays. He originally made it to the big leagues with the Cubs, and then he had that long run in Anaheim as a backup catcher. And the starting catcher was his brother, Benji. 1-2 is bounce foul again.
Quite a catching family. They're the Molina brothers.
Yeah, that Yadier is pretty good, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you're Jose, how does that make you feel? Your younger brother is the best catcher in the other league. I guess he's probably proud of it, right?
Oh, heck yeah. Well, he probably taught him everything.
Or tell you that. 1-2 the count. Strike three called on the outside corner. That's a huge out for Miguel and 2 away.
Good pitch. Nice job by Miguel maintaining his focus throughout this at bat here. De Jesus was bouncing around trying to distract him. What a pinpoint accuracy.
Two-seam fastball. Molina gave up on it. There's the number 9 batter, Sean Rodriguez, who jumped on the first pitch leading off in the third and hit a solo home run off a catwalk in left field. De Jesus dancing out there, so Miguel steps off.
He's moving around with 1 out, and Jonathan Scope was keeping him tight and honest. Now with 2 out, Scope moves off. So he's trying to get in Gonzalez's head a little bit more here.
And the breaking ball outside, 1-0. De Jesus singled leading off, moved up on the ground out. He's there now with 2 down. Swing and a miss, but it gets away from Joseph. That ball had so much movement, Joseph couldn't stop it.
Did have some late finish there. I don't know if Rodriguez got a piece of it or was just slid underneath the glove of Joseph, but certainly one that Caleb should have had. Take a look at this tight rotation. It's showing itself in the strike zone then right at the end. Boy, that is some late finish. Yeah, Caleb not ready for that late bite right off the end of the glove.
And they've given Caleb a pass ball. And a swing and a miss, similar pitch. A lot of late movement on his pitches tonight, breaking down under the swings.
Yeah, big split finger actually there. That's what it's all about. That's what pitchers strive for. Get that late movement as close to the plate as possible. You see a lot of swing and misses, and Miguel on it right now.
1-2 on Rodriguez. With the runner at third and 2 down. And he struck him out. How about that? The same pitch 3 times in a row. And Rodriguez strikes out. Here are a Honda do-ups as the Birds come in to go up in the 5th. Markakis, Pearce, and Jones. To you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By visitannapolis.org, find it here. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. 5-2 games. And now our buddy down the right field line has a batting helmet, so he's got so many foul balls going his way. Dad got him a helmet.
Yeah, or maybe Adam Jones went in there and just to protect him. I think it's a little scary getting close to the field. I mean, these guys hit the ball hard. You got to be able to pay attention. That's a dangerous spot down there under the Orioles dugout.
And the breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-1 on Nick. Bedard just threw his 90th pitch. And the curveball for a strike.
A couple pretty good ones. He hasn't doubled up with pitches much, but he locks Markakis up there. Back-to-back slow curves.
That ball's heading towards the gap. Desmond Jennings trying to get back on it before it gets to the wall. He can't do it. And Nick will head to second with a leadoff double, and Nick has a multi-hit game. So back-to-back multi-hit games and a leadoff double.
I said, well, this ball game hasn't doubled up, but he tripled up with the curveball. And Markakis so tough with 2 strikes, goes down and gets it. Probably his best breaking ball of the at-bat, but 2 strikes. Markakis fights it off, gets the bat head on it, and hammers that one out past Jennings.
Joe Madden out. He'll make a pitching change. He doesn't want this game to get any further out of hand as his Rays got back with a couple of solo homers. Bedard leaves. Pitching change at the Trop. 5-2-0s in the 5th.
Short outing for him, just 4 innings, 4 hits allowed, 5 earned runs, a couple walks, 3 strikeouts. Of course, the big blow by Chris Davis, that grand slam, really upped his pitch count. 92 pitches thrown, 56 for strikes, 36 for balls. Kirby Yates now in the ball game, only 3 games, just recently called up. Earned run average with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk in his 3 innings of work. Couple hits.
Kirby Yates, 27 years old. He is from Hawaii and still resides in Hawaii in the offseason. He is the 39th native Hawaiian to play in the major leagues, and one of the other 38, his brother. Remember Tyler Yates, relief pitcher? He was with the Mets, Braves, and the Pirates, and Tyler went back home to Hawaii and is now a police officer. So from major league reliever to a police officer. Here's Steve Pearce batting. Markakis at second and nobody down. Pearce has been up twice. He has walked twice and he has scored once. Orioles looking to add to their lead here in the 5th inning. a strike.
Yates was pitching down in AAA Durham, and he was the closer down there. He was 16 for 16 in save opportunities.
And the ball outside, 1-1. The amazing thing about this game, and Mike showed you Bedard's line, the Orioles have a 5-2 lead, and they have only 4 hits. 2 singles and a home run in the third, and Markakis with a leadoff double here in the 5th. One and 2 on Pearce as he fouls it off.
One thing they did do was take advantage of some mistakes. Now, base on balls always seem to come back and hurt you, and Pearce has drawn a couple. Well, in that 3rd inning, he walked, and then Adam Jones with the hit by pitch. You have to take advantage of those, just like on defense. If a team makes an error, not many times you let those opportunities slip by.
Strike 3 called. Either Pearce fooled by the pitcher, he thought it was outside, but Ron Culpa rings him up 1 away.
Pretty good fastball here, 93 miles an hour. Kind of works it back, maybe slightly off, but pretty good job of receiving it by Molina, veteran catcher, locking it up on the outside corner to get Pearce.
Adam Jones up now. Adam contributed in the rally. He was hit by a pitch on a 3-2 pitch and scored ahead of the opposite field grand slam by Chris Davis. This ball's too high. Adam has homered in back-to-back games. And now has 6 home runs in June.
Adam Jones picked up a big home run last night. Take a look at the coverage here. Up and out of the zone, out of his power zone, but it shows you how dangerous he is. He crushed the high fastball.
Want to know on Adam. And inside of the fastball makes him dance a little bit. Get those feet moving. That's what the pitchers try to do.
Oh, yeah. Letting it go in there. 93 miles an hour. Molina setting up in, and this one rides in. Get Adam Jones to move those feet.
Well, he's already been hit once. He didn't want an encore there. Right field has some carry, but playable for Matt Joyce. Markakis will tag. Joyce makes the catch and fires it back in. With 2 down. Markakis a leadoff double. He's now at third with 2 men out. Well, the Orioles have been relying on the home run very much so in June. In fact, since June the 7th, 56.7, so almost 57% of their runs have come via the home runs. That's the highest percentage of any team in baseball. And for the season, the 4th highest, just over 40%. And they're going to put Davis on with first base open. And that's one of those good news, bad news scenarios. It's great to have the home run power, and the Orioles now have hit 22 home runs in June. But if you're relying on the home run and don't get it, it's tough to win. You're not manufacturing runs.
It sure is. And when you don't have the guys to walk, they have the lowest walk rate in or American League anyway. And guys that don't steal bases. So you hope you can string some hits together and then hit the long ball. And you know, this season, even though they are relying on it, it's really been their MO the past few seasons about hitting the long ball. They're down from last year. There's some guys that are having the off years. Chris Davis, of course, that historic first half. Manny Machado and J.J. Hardy hasn't hit his home run yet this year. Last year he had 11 at this time.
So Davis hits an opposite field off the foul pole after an umpire review grand slam, and he's walked intentionally to bring up the leading RBI man in the league. Joe Madden playing the righty-righty matchup. Cruz is 0 for 2 on the night. He does have a modest 3-game hitting streak going. And a big bouncer to short. Escobar plays the hop and fires to second to get Davis. That'll end the inning. So Yates comes out and restores order and leadoff double, 2 left, mid-5th. Miguel going back to work with a 3-run lead. Action, daytime baseball. Birds and the Rays will wrap up the 3-game series with Kevin Gausman on the mound against the Rays' Alex Cobb. Our coverage begins on MASN at 12:30 with those extra presented by Dodge, and then game coverage at 1 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN.
Kevin Gausman been pitching really well against some really good teams. Picked up his wins against the Oakland A's and Toronto Blue Jays. This will be his first road start of the year, and Alex Cobb starting to bounce back after spending a lot of time on the disabled list. Had a real good start in his last outing, 11 strikeouts in that ball game, and snapped a 3-game losing streak.
Outside to Desmond Jennings, 1-0. Joyce on deck, and then Longoria. Jennings homered his last at bat as Rodriguez and Jennings went back to back. Home run number 6 for Desmond. And a strike in the outside corner. Now Miguel has not yet retired the side in order. He did have a 3-batter inning in the second. Leadoff hit, double play, and then a pop-up. Looking for his first clean 3-up, 3-down inning. It's interesting watching here, Mike. You know, you expect a little rust of not being on the mound in a major league game. He's got good velocity. The command hasn't been there, but the off-speed pitches, the command has been outstanding.
Yeah, really good. Nice job mixing them up. Hitting the spots, keeping it down in the zone, both his slider. Actually throwing a couple good curve balls for strikes down in the zone, and that split finger. He's picked up a couple strikeouts on that pitch as well. But he's not very happy with the way he's been able to command his fastball. Left a couple of them up in the zone.
2-2 on Jennings. And he struck him out. Gets the call at the knees.
That was a good one there. He's been able to pick up that spot. The two-seam fastball. Caleb Joseph setting up, down, and away, and he hits the spot right on the money. Caleb doesn't have to move the glove there.
That was a tremendous replay angle there. You could see where Culpa was set up, where Caleb's glove was set up, and the ball hit the glove right in the eyesight of the umpire.
That's perfect.
You're always going to get that call. Matt Joyce now. Ripped down the line, and that's a base hit. Markakis will go dig it out. And Joyce will head to second base with a 1-out double. several of the Rays in this game have jumped on the first pitch, guessing that Miguel's going to start him off with a fastball.
Yeah, he guessed right there. That fastball stays in the middle of the plate. And he continues to stay hot here at his home park. Ripping a double down the line.
The runner in scoring position with one down as Joyce picks up his second hit in the game. And here is Evan Longoria, who is batting with a chance to get a run in here. And a called strike.
Quality strike at that. The breaking ball down in the zone.
Well, the way Ron Kolpa sets up, he's definitely a lower in the strike zone umpire, and Miguel's really trying to take advantage of that. He's doing a real good job. Held off the other way. I mean, he leans down so much that that ball coming into his view, if it's low in the zone, he's going to like the pitch.
Miguel's doing a good job with the off-speed pitches, keeping them down there. Hasn't really made a mistake with the breaking ball. Take a look at the pitch track. Perfect location on both sliders.
Ahead of Longoria, 0-2. And then just off the plate outside. Miguel has struck out 4. He's walked only 1. The walk did not hurt. It came in the first inning with 2 down and was left stranded. A 1-2 on Longoria. Just did get a piece. So he's throwing 91, 92, and then that off-speed pitch comes in at 78.
Yeah, his hard slider, 83 to 85, and there he takes a little off. The curveball effect, 78 miles an hour, and Longoria just able to get enough of it to keep the at bat alive. Real good breaking ball.
Well, Caleb out for a chat with Miguel. Maybe Caleb was suspicious that Matt Joyce was relaying something to Longoria.
Quite possibly.
The ball on 2 strikes. And a big chopper to third again. That's a fair ball. The long throw, and safe is the call at first. A Baltimore chop base hit. And Buck's going to come out. He's not sure.
Well, pretty close play down there, Manny. A couple of those testers on the choppers. He lets it fly. Longoria sniffing out the base hit, so going hard down the line. Take a look here. Nice stretch by Chris Davis, but it looked like Longoria did get his foot in there.
So Buck now positioning to get the word, and he's going to ask for a review. He will challenge this. It's bang bang, so you never know what they're going to call, so I guess it's worth it.
Baltimore is challenging the rule number 2
So Pat Holberger made the call, and the crew chief, Ron Kolpa, the ball and the foot get there really at the exact same time.
It is so close.
The question is the foot still in the air or down on the bag when the ball gets into Davis's glove? That's what they got to determine.
What a great stretch by Chris Davis. As you see there, he waited to see where the ball was going to go, and then he took a nice long stride out towards the ball to make this play really, really close.
Ooh, that's close.
Ooh, that is close. stride up the line. Huh? Great play by Davis. Great play by Machado.
And the play will stand. And that looked like, from our replays, that it was the correct call.
One last look here.
I mean, by closing the glove. Because again, I mean, the ball has to beat him, and the ball didn't beat him. So.
Well, Machado and Davis did all they could with that play to get it as close as they did.
In the meantime, the tying run comes to the plate. And here is James Loney. First and second with one down. And in the dirt, blocked by Joseph.
Good block there by Caleb.
Loney walked in the first, reached on an error by Adam Jones in the third. Left field, that ball's trouble. That heads to the corner. That's a base hit. And it bounces against the wall. There's one run to score. Longoria coming in. The throw to the plate will not be in time. That is a two-run double, and it's a one-run game. Loney does that as well as any hitter, going with the pitch the opposite way.
Yeah, he does. He's one of the lefties that can use the whole field, and he gets a pitch up in the zone, pretty much center cut. Drives it down that right field line, pretty close to being interfered with, but the fan doesn't reach over. Foley there sending both runners to score.
So it is a one-run game. It was 5-0. It's now 5-4. And still only one out. Here's Ben Zobrist. Again, first ball swinging. This time he misses. 3 at bats. He swung at the first pitch all 3 times. Well, it looked like might be an easy night for the Orioles. Certainly not that anymore. 1-1 the count.
This Tampa team, after going through such a rough stretch, has certainly found a little bit more confidence here recently in winning ball games, some close ball games, and sometimes that's all it takes. This Rays team, no stranger to success. But this year, a lot of down times. They've been trying to find the right formula.
Popped up foul. That'll be back in the crowd. Joe Madden inserted Yates after Markakis doubled to lead off the top half of this inning, and Yates got out of it without anyone scoring. And now his team has come back and scored 2 here in the 5th to pull within a run. Foul off his foot. Ryan Webb now getting loose for the O's. 6-man bullpen tonight. Josh Stinson designated for assignment prior to the game to make room for Miguel to come off the DL. Left field line, that's fading back foul and will be out of play.
And again, that fastball staying up in the zone. Loney got one, a mistake for the big double. That pitch there is Zobrist up in the zone.
Loney at second with one down, 2 runs in for the Rays. Strike 3 call. Fastball right there and a big out for Miguel and 2 away.
Beautiful fastball here. 2-seamer located so well. You see it work itself back over on the inside corner to get Zobrist.
So he's an out away from keeping the lead. Showalter on the phone to the pen to see if Webb is ready. De Jesus 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. There's the tying run. James Loney at second here in the 5th. De Jesus singled off the glove of Miguel in the 2nd, and then a line drive to center field in the 4th. Outside 1-0. Miguel had allowed 8 runs total in his last 4 starts, 2 in each. And he has allowed 4 runs here tonight. Of course, those 4 starts prior to his stint on the DL. And pitch on the outside corner, take it for a strike. And a long inning out there for the Orioles in the field. 1-1 on De Jesus. Inside as he does that run inside.
Yanked that one across his body there. Caleb Joseph was setting up away.
So the count in the favor of De Jesus. As Joseph gives the signs to Miguel. Low, ball 3. Miguel needs one more out to qualify for a win, and it's getting very close. With Miguel being removed from the game, Buck's got to be concerned about getting the win for the team. And now on 3-1 at first base open, they're going to put him on. So we'll see what Buck will do here. Will he come out for a visit? Will he come out to take Miguel out, or will he give him one more batter? Well, he's going to send Dave Wallace out, so he's getting one more batter.
Well, he's been able to get Escobar a couple ground balls, one a double play to Manny, and another ground ball out to Machado. So it's about executing pitches. See here in the 5th, kind of laboring through 24 pitches, a pitch count getting up.
Well, this will probably be his last batter regardless. Aaron is ready out there, so either he gets him out, qualify for a win, or Buck will go to the bullpen to maintain this lead. Escobar, as Mike told you, hard smash at Machado that turned into a 5-4-3 double play, and then a big chopper to third. Machado got him at first in his last at bat. Loney and De Jesus on with 2 down. Breaking ball for a strike.
Good one. Kind of buckled Escobar a little bit.
In the dirt, gets away from Joseph. Loney thought about going to third, then put on the brakes.
Nice job by Caleb bouncing up. Keep it quite as close as he'd like, but look how he gets to his feet quickly. Only back to second.
One and one on Escobar. Weekly hit to short. Hardy will play it to first, and Miguel gets out of it. So the Rays get closer, but Miguel maintains the lead. We're through 5 at the Trop. A 1-run game, 5-4 O's. Conversation now at osbirdsnest.com. Plus, enter today's bonus code MATTUS, MATUSZ, before midnight to receive 2 bonus tokens and be entered to win a monthly prize of an autographed player photo or a year-end prize of 2 tickets to Opening Day 2015. Join the O's Bird's Nest today and start being rewarded. Dave Wallace with Miguel Gonzalez on the bench.
Talking them through some of those situations, possibly about what certain hitters are looking for. That last inning, gave up a couple doubles. His off-speed pitches were really good, or have been good in this ball game. The fastball, that's what's hurt him. A couple pitches elevated.
Here's J.J. Hardy, who is 0 for 2. Trying to extend the hitting streak to 3 straight. Yates stays on and misses outside, 1-0. He came on with Markakis at second and nobody down. Got Pearce on a strikeout, Jones on a fly ball. Then after an intentional walk, got Cruz on a ground out. Hardy, 327 at bats now without a home run. September 5th of last year was his last. He's got 48 at bats without an RBI. Yet he's getting his hits. He's got 67 hits. He now has 22 multi-hit games.
He's using the whole field as well. Real good with 2 strikes. The best in the game, actually. Back a ball up and drive it the other way.
This game is so much about confidence, how you're feeling at the plate. And a good take there, 2-2. And he got a real good breaking ball. So Hardy down on strikes. He's 0 for 3 and 1 away.
Nice pitch here. Down in the zone, that late bite. Everybody thinking he's going to rush a fastball on the outside corner. And that drop, look at how much JJ out in front and over the top.
So the only hitter to reach against Yates since he came on last inning was Davis, the intentional walk. Manny Machado now inside 1-0. The Orioles still only have 4 hits in this game. Six through 9, a combined 1 for 12. Manny lines it to left to Jesus in on it. It hangs and he makes the catch. Well, that's too bad. That ball was hit really well, but right at to Jesus. Well, as promised earlier in the game, here's our AT&T's fan photo. Oh, look at that. She just lost her tooth at the O's game and she got the tooth. Huh. Take it home for the tooth fairy. That's a cute picture. Here's Jonathan Scope. Jonathan has the 1 hit in the lower part of the lineup. He singled to lead off in the 3rd, which got the 5-run rally going. It's fouled off down the right side, and Jonathan down in the count, 0-2.
He's coming with a good fastball there, 93 miles an hour. Using the fastball, slider, just mixing them up consistently. Pitch track that last fastball. Pretty good hit.
And he got him. Foul tip held by Molina. So 3 up, 3 down inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Orioles clinging to a 1-run lead.
To Scope, on to Chris Davis with the nice pick. Big double play, league leading. Well, there's a wild pitch from Bedard in the 3rd. That loads the bases for Crush Davis right down the left field line to Jesus. Hammers that wall, but the ball hammers the foul pole. Grand slam. Machado showing it off again, getting Escobar with the strong throw across the diamond. Big play, good defense here. Take a look at the pitchers tonight. Bedard, the early exit. This 4 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. Miguel Gonzalez 5 innings, 8 hits given up, 4 earned runs. Pretty tight ball game. Remember, Geico 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And here's the Jiffy Lube pitching change. The Orioles can check this pitching change off their to-do list. Isn't it time for you to check oil change off yours? Come into Jiffy Lube and help keep your vehicle running longer. Well, Ryan Webb now in the ball game for the Orioles. In relief of Miguel Gonzalez. Ryan Webb's doing a nice job out of this Orioles bullpen. Of course, good two-seam fastball on the slider. That earned run average at 2.79. 23 strikeouts in his 29 innings of work. Just 7 walks allowed.
Jose Molina will lead off, and Webb misses outside. Webb in his last 10 games has really pitched well. Molina is 0 for 2 on the night. 10 games, 1 earned run. An ERA of 0.96 in those outings. Outside, ball 2. Last night, when the Orioles rallied to tie, a leadoff walk in the 8th inning. Darren O'Day walked Longoria, and that got Tampa Bay going. They scored the 2 and won at 5-4. So the bullpen now will have to get 12 outs as Miguel goes just 5 innings in his return from the DL. And the Orioles' streak of 8 consecutive quality starts is halted here tonight. Miguel didn't go 6, and he gave up 4 runs.
Well, it's good to get Miguel back. But unfortunately not the fastball command that we're used to seeing, at least here recently from Gonzalez before that DL stint.
Off speed pitch for a strike.
I'm not liking the call, but pitch track showing that slider in the top part of the box.
Left field. Back on it, Cruz, and then Nelly runs it down for the out. Sounded good. Cruz got back easily and won away. Well, the latest voting numbers are in for the 2014 All-Star Game. Several O's still need your votes. Nelson Cruz remains in the lead for the American League DH. Matt Wieters still leads at catcher, although he won't play. Adam Jones sits just 2 spots away from a starting spot in the outfield. Hardy, Davis, Machado, and Markakis are also among the leaders as well. So vote now at Orioles.com/voteorange. You could earn ticket discounts, plus the chance to win an autographed All-Star Game jersey. You could vote up to 35 times with each valid email address, so keep voting orange and get your Birds into the starting lineup. And a weak ground ball hit the second base off the bat of Rodriguez. And Scope gets him, and 2 men down here in the 6th. Orioles.com/voteorange today. There's Desmond Jennings, who has homered in 3 trips. But Showalter would hope Webb could have a quick inning here. With a 6-man bullpen now, he'll likely need Webb to go 2. He used O'Day and Mattis last night. He did not use Webb. He did not use Zach Britton. And he did not use Tommy Hunter, who's out there as well. Breaking ball for a strike.
Good slider there, starting it off at the right hip of Jennings, or left hip of Jennings. Works its way back over that inner third.
Foul straight down at the plate. Ryan Webb in his first year with the O's. Non-tendered by the Marlins, and the Orioles quickly got to him and signed him to a deal. ERA of 2.91 last year for the Marlins in 66 games. And the 1-2 is inside. When he's right, he has a power sinker. And he got him. Gets a fastball by him. So Ryan Webb, a very impressive 3-up, 3-down inning. First time that the Rays have gone in order. Here's our Mazda do-ups. Caleb Joseph, Nick Markakis, and Steve Pearce for the O's in the 7th. Mark Throneberry. His apparent first inning triple became an out on an appeal play for missing second base, and the Mets lost to the Giants 8-7 at the Polo Grounds. Manager Casey Stengel came out to question the call, and he's told by the umpire, according to legend, well, Casey, don't bother arguing. He missed first base too. That was the 62 Mets. They went 40 and 120. And then in 1993, baseball owners voted overwhelmingly 26-2 in favor of expanding the playoffs for the first time since 1969. The new system beginning in 1994 doubled the number of teams qualifying for postseason play to 8, and each division was realigned to 3 divisions, adding 2 wild card teams. And here's Brad Boxberger on for Tampa Bay in the 7th.
2.35 earned run average, 34 strikeouts in 23 innings of work, just the 12 base on balls. We saw him last night. He pitched 2/3 of an inning in relief of Odorizzi. A good fastball from 90 to 94. Real good changeup. There's a slider and a curve, but primarily fastball change. Righties will see more sliders.
So he goes changeup, fastball. Caleb takes both, and he's down 0-2. And a foul ball. Boxberger, the third pitcher used by Joe Madden. Bedard, the starter, went 4 innings plus 1 batter. Then Yates 2 innings, and now Boxberger. Jim Hickey leaning on the rail. Joe Madden always has that lineup card and the matchups on him. Six through 9 in the Orioles lineup now is a combined 1 for 14. Check swing. He did not go. Good take. 2-2.
That's the change right there. Nice job by Caleb Joseph recognizing it. You see him in the check swing, but he holds that bat head up. Catcher Molina trying to sell the swing.
And from 0-2 to 2-2 on Caleb Joseph leading off in the 7th. And foul. This is a game the Orioles have to get. Up 5-0 in the 3rd. It's now 5-4.
I'd like to put together another good inning. that third inning. They able to draw a walk, put some hits together, and of course Chris Davis putting the icing on the cake with the grand slam.
This ball's hit to right field, chasing Joyce back. Back he goes, and he can't make the play. It's off his glove and falls to the warning track, and Caleb Joseph has a leadoff double.
Job by Caleb Joseph. Good at bat, fouled off. Good change up, took a couple tough pitches, and then he just beats Joyce deep, turns him around. See next level, backpedaling, can't pick up the baseball. Ends up going off the tip of the glove, and Caleb Joseph into second base. Start the 6th inning off, 7th inning.
So the Orioles now looking for some add-on runs, get a runner to second for Markakis. Caleb has his first hit of the night and snaps his 0 for 9. Nick is 2 out of 3. He was 2 out of 4 in the game last night. Here are the runners in scoring position numbers for the night. And a pop-up on the first pitch. Escobar calls, he's got it. And out for Boxberger, and that's a big one away as the runner can't advance.
Yeah, that's tough there. I mean, Steve Pearce did this back in the 5th after a leadoff double by Markakis. He struck out. Now Caleb Joseph with the leadoff double, and Markakis the infield pop-up. It would have been nice to advance both guys over to third base, but unable to do it.
Yeah, and in that 5th inning, of course, the next batter hit a fly ball, which might have been a sac fly. And the off-speed pitch is low. So he has started off 2 of the first 3 hitters with changeups. Pearce has drawn a couple of walks and scored a run, plus that strikeout. High fly ball, deep left field. Is it going to stay fair down the line? That ball is gone for Pearce. There's a home run and a couple of big add-on runs. And the O's lead is now 7-4 as Pearce comes around. His 5th home run of the year and a big one. And another $500 for Brittany Rowe of Owings Mills, our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game. Oh, is that big for Pearce?
He lays off a real tough changeup on the first pitch. Jumps all over the high fastball. Only a matter of is it going to be fair or foul. It stays fair for Pearce. A little separation now between the Orioles and Tampa.
Well, you can see how popular he is on this team. They all love the success he's having. Still only one down. Here's Adam Jones. Fastball for a strike.
Take a look at this swing here from Steve Pearce. This fastball up middle, and he gets the bat head out in front of the plate. See that old school kind of closed stance. Boy, when he commits, though, those hips fly through.
So the Orioles have a 7-4 lead. And 6 of the 7 runs have come in on the 2 home runs. The Orioles now have 23 multi-home run games, and 9 of them, Mike, have come this month. And this is only their 16th game. It's up and away to Adam, 1-2. Now a little bit of breathing room, and Steve Pearce coming through. Buck put him in the number 2 spot. He's driven in 2. He has scored 2.
It's really unbelievable, this lineup. When the bottom of the order does something, it seems like good things happen. Of course, back in that 3rd inning, it was Jonathan Scope that picked up the single that eventually led to the big inning. And here, Caleb Joseph, that leadoff double.
Adams strikes out on an off-speed pitch.
And that's the change up here from Boxberger. It's Adam Jones. Not as good as change you're going to see. Good late movement. He's dropping down out of the zone.
Now, do the players teach you those celebrations they do? When we just saw there with David Lowe and Steve Pearce. That's the first time I've seen that one.
Well, there's so many, I can't keep track of them.
0-1 on Davis with the grand slam off the foul pole. An outside corner call strike. And he did not know it was a grand slam until the umpires reviewed it. The Jesus slammed into the wall, and it looked like it might have been off the wall. Originally, it was called a double. Right down that left field line.
And that was about the location of that home run he hit. It was up and away off the plate. Pitch track. This Rays team consistently been working away.
And it went too far. Couldn't check his swing. So Davis down on strikes, and that ends the inning. But not before Steve Pearce gets into one. A home run deep down the left field line. His fifth, a 2-run shot to give the Orioles a 3-run lead. It's a special day-night doubleheader on Friday, June 27th. Separate games, 1:05, and then again at 7:05 in the afternoon. Tell your boss, Mike Bordick says it's okay to get out of work and get your holiday week started early at Oriole Park. Then at 7:05, first 20,000 fans, 21 and over, will receive an Orioles floppy hat presented by Miller Lite. That is one of the most popular giveaways of the year. So get your tickets for both games now. Go online, Orioles.com, or just call 888-848-BIRD. And there's our buddy near the Oriole dugout there. See, he's got a helmet. He's got gum and seeds from Bud Norris. He got a baseball from Adam Jones. He got a foul ball.
Oh my God.
Helmet looks a little big.
That's for an at bat.
Yeah, that's somebody's helmet, it looks like. But that's a home helmet. Webb stays on. Here's Joyce, and there's a strike. Webb retired the side in order, coming out in the 6th. It's the first time all night Tampa Bay's gone in order. So now a little bit of breathing room with a 3-run lead. Joyce is 2 for 3, and he got the rally going in the 5th with a 1-out double. Ryan Mattis, Darren O'Day getting loose. Upstairs with a fastball, 2-1.
Webb did a nice job in that last inning, actually finishing up with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Showing some pretty good velocity with it and a good movement.
Slice foul back out of play.
Backdoor slider there from Webb to get back into this count. He's been using his changeup a lot more here recently. By the time he breaks it out, it's got that arm side fade, just like that two-seam fastball he throws.
And a chopper towards the middle. Hardy was there in the shift and fires to get Joyce for the out. Well, Webb has retired all 4 he has faced. Brant Balfour now getting loose in the Tampa Bay bullpen. He allowed a run last night. It could have been worse. McGee came on and eventually got out of it after the infield hit by Cruz, and the Orioles left the bases loaded in the 8th inning last night. Now Loney, a left-handed batter's on deck, and he's unlikely to be pinch hit for. So if Buck wants the matchup, he has Mattis ready, with Loney waiting in the on-deck circle.
I like the way Webb's throwing right now. Command of his fastball, keeping it down in the zone. Locate the slider as well.
Big chopper again to Machado. Manny comes in this time, and he gets Longoria. Longoria had a base hit his last at bat on a chopper like that. And here comes Buck. And we're going to get the left-hander, so Buck wants the lefty-lefty matchup, knowing that it's very unlikely Joe Madden would pinch hit for James Loney. So what a job for Ryan Webb as he retires 5 in a row. Mattis comes on, 2 outs, nobody on in the 7th. The telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
Brian Mattis now in the ball game, on to face Loney here. 3.91 earned run average, 18 strikeouts, 12 walks in his 25 1/3 innings of work. See the lefties down to 205 against Mattis. His job here to finish up this inning against Loney.
And a foul. Of course, with Zach Britton not getting in the game last night, you know you're going to get him for the 9th. So Buck navigating his way through the 7th and then the 8th to get to Britton. So Webb does an outstanding job retiring all 5 batters, and now he has the lefty-lefty matchup. There's Zach in the pen waiting for the 9th. Zach's brother Buck hit a big 2-run home run last night for Norfolk.
Nice. Only good numbers off the lefties this year.
There's a strike. Breaking ball. Mattis has held lefties this year to 205. Righties, however, hit 304 against them. And last night, it was a manager's choice. DeJesus was announced as the pinch hitter with O'Day on the mound. He wanted O'Day to face the lefty, bring Madison, knowing they pinch hit for DeJesus, which they did, and Sands went up the righty, and he hit the 2-run homer. So you play matchups as you see fit. And Mattis came in and unfortunately left one out over the plate. It was 2-0, and he grooved it for him.
Yeah, really, that was the problem there, just falling behind 2-0. That fastball up and out over, and Sands kind of been the hero the last few games for the Rays.
Two and two on him with 2 men down. Outside, ball 3. And he got him. So Mattis comes back to get the strikeout, and that ends the inning, and the Orioles bullpen has retired the side in order in consecutive innings. We head to the 8th. Mattis gets the K, 7-4 Birds. Orioles game all season long with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. At Bat brings you baseball wherever you are. You get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, highlights, audio, the free MLB.tv game of the day. You get live pitch tracking, classic games, and much more. Download MLB.com at bat at the App Store or visit Orioles.com today. Now, Mike Bordick, did you ever have an unexpected visitor in the dugout? Let's watch here. There's Buck, there's Ryan Webb, and look out, Ryan! Look out! There's an illegal pigeon in this Tropicana field tonight.
Yeah, the last thing you expect is a bird flying by you here in the dome. Grant Balfour now in the ballgame, looking to lower that earned run average, 6.15. Of course, lost his closing spot. Opponents hitting 219, lefties at 237, righties 189. He was in last night's ballgame, only worked a third of an inning, gave up a couple hits.
And there's a strike to Nelson Cruz, who is hitless. 0 for 3 with a couple of ground outs. Outside. Balfour agreed to a deal with the Orioles, but then did not pass his physical, so the deal was not completed. He was upset about it. Was able to get a deal here in Tampa for less money than the Orioles offered him, according to reports. Popped up to first. And James Loney will put it away for the out. So Cruz is 0 for 4 and 1 away. And as it turned out, the Orioles had their closer already in house. After Tommy Hunter had some struggles, Zach Britton took over, and he's been pretty good.
He sure has.
He's been very good. He's been outstanding.
Yeah.
J.J. Hardy 0 for 3. And the breaking ball bends in there for a strike.
Grant Balfour, primarily fastball slider pitcher. He does have a curveball and a change, but very rarely does he use those two pitches.
J.J. towards the gap in right center. It hangs up for Jennings. And he'll get there for the out and 2 men down. So J.J.'s 0 for 4. It's kind of amazing. From 6 through 9, Cruz, Hardy, Machado, Scope, and Joseph. 2 for 17. But those two of the biggest hits in the game.
Right.
The single by Scope and the double by Joseph. Each led off an inning and each led to a rally. Manning is flied out all 3 times to left field tonight. He takes ball 1. And strike at the knees, 1-1 the count. For Balfour, it's his second tour with the Rays, and his offseason home is in the Tampa Bay area. So for Balfour, he came home as Machado fouls it back.
Balfour's biggest problems, reasons why he lost that closing spot was just the command. A lot of walks for him.
Manny pops it foul near the Rays dugout. Loney's over. Good effort, but he couldn't grab it.
Giving chase here. Obviously very familiar with this stadium. He reaches out over. A good effort. Can't come down with it. Get out over the end of the glove.
He is an outstanding fielder. Well, 1-2 on Machado. And another foul ball.
Today's game attendance 10,803. 10803.
Manny had gone 7 for 20 in the last 5 games, but hitless here tonight. Not anymore. That's a base hit. Jennings will get it back in. That was a real good at bat there by Machado. Fouled off a few good pitcher's pitches and then gets a single with 2 down.
Real nice stroke there from Manny Machado. Going the other way, knocking the ball up and driving it over the second baseman's head. It's a way to get yourself right.
Well, here's Jonathan, 1 out of 3. And then takes low, 1-0. Balfour out of Sydney, Australia, now lives in Clearwater, Florida. And a chopper foul, 1-1. Another souvenir for, well, an Oriole fan next to that couple. He has a Rays hat on. He has a Devil Rays hat on. That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, they've been good ever since they dropped the Devil. Ever since they became the Rays, they've been good.
That's right.
That's not a coincidence.
Doesn't seem to be. They've been on a nice run, haven't they?
See, that's just a Ray. A cute Ray. Machado chase back. You think they leave those lights on in the tank at night out there? I think the Rays get scared if they turn the lights off.
I have no idea. I doubt it.
3-1 on Jonathan Scope. You can make that your assignment for tomorrow.
No doubt about that.
Do a little investigating. Three and 1 on Scope with Machado at first. Ooh, big healthy cut, 3-2.
Good pass. Maybe a little big there. Got himself in a good hitter's count. He gears up for it. Back leg in the pitch. Bat head just underneath the ball.
Machado will go on 3-2. And he got it. Scope down on strikes, and that ends the inning. 2 out, hitting a man left. We head to the bottom of the 8th at the Trop, with the O's holding on to the lead. Zobrist will lead off. He is a switch hitter. And then the left-handed bat of David DeJesus is due second. So Buck will look to get Mattis past Zobrist and then force the hand of Joe Madden. And that hand has already been forced. Logan Forsythe is about to come out of the Rays dugout and come on deck to pinch hit for DeJesus. So Zobrist, a switch hitter, will face Mattis, and then we'll likely get O'Day to face Forsythe if he's announced as a pinch hitter.
Well, Brian Mattis some troubles against the righties, but certainly has the arsenal to have success. It's just a matter of getting ahead. He's got 4 pitches, quality pitches. You saw the mistake last night, falling behind.
Well, good looking curveball there. Well, the bullpen for the O's tonight, 6 up, 6 down since Webb took over to begin the 6th. And strike on the outside corner, nothing in 2.
Good pitch, great location.
chase the curve ball and it bounces in.
Good try.
Darren O'Day getting loose for the possible Forsythe at bat, which would be next. And in the dirt, 2-2. You know, it would appear, watching those last two pitches, that he's trying to nibble again in the chase, but really he just didn't throw good pitches. I mean, the first one was a breaking ball that happened to break low, and that one just bounced it. Line to right, there's a base hit. It's heading to the corner, so Zobrist will get to second base, leading off in the 8th inning. Mattis had him 0-2 and couldn't put him away. So Logan Forsythe comes to the plate and Buck comes to the mound. So Mattis will face two batters, gets one out. He'll leave, and Darren O'Day comes on, 1 on, none out in the 8th.
Games this year, has a couple wins, a couple saves to go along with that 1.52 earned run average. 27 strikeouts in his 29 2/3 innings of work. Opponents hitting just .219, lefties .216, righties at .221. The inherited runner stranded for O'Day, 16 of 21 at a 76% rate.
So Logan Forsythe will try to get Zobrist in, who's out there at second base. There's one left-hander on the bench for Joe Madden tonight. That's Kevin Kiermaier, who played in right field last night. The other three are righties, including Forsythe. And a bunt third base side, but it goes foul. Machado was deep. Forsythe has never faced Darren O'Day. It's his first appearance against Darren.
The Rays were actually out working on bunting earlier today. Actually did a lot of different drills. They had pitcher fungo practice. They did some infield drills and bunting.
Forsythe is 3 for 14 as a pinch hitter. I think Caleb Joseph was crossed up.
He got crossed up a little bit. Surprise there with the fastball, expecting the slider.
Well, they'll go over the signs, of course, with the Runner at second. They have to change the signs. Of course, they're much different teams the way these rosters are built, but this is the 76th pinch hitting appearance for the Tampa Bay Rays. The Orioles have pinch hit only 26 times. Joe Madden has more platoon players than the Orioles do. Outside, ball 2. It's a 3-run game, but the tying run's on deck. And this is a big man for O'Day with Zobrist at second base following his leadoff double. And the foul got a piece of the massive Caleb Joseph. It's been happening quite a bit in these 2 games.
Yeah, Caleb's been taking a beating here this past week. Another one right off the front of the face mask. Shakes him up a little bit.
And 2-2 the count. Check swing, he fouled it off. Didn't mean to swing, but couldn't get the bat out of the way.
So tough making that decision last second. Is the ball going to be a break and be a slider, or is it going to run in? And almost committed a little bit too soon, but just enough for Darren O'Day to get it off the bat. For foul ball.
Another foul ball. Tampa Bay is only 13th in the league in team batting. They're last in runs scored, but they're pretty good at prolonging at bats.
They have been in this series. Forsythe putting some pretty good swings on here. See the pitch track though. A couple pitches left over to the middle of the plate.
Another foul ball. That is the 5th foul ball in this at bat. He's about to see the 8th pitch thrown by O'Day. Turns and looks Zobrist back.
Well, just to break a little rhythm. I mean, no intention of picking him off, but Forsythe fouling off a couple pitches just to change it up for everybody.
And another foul ball. It's 5 in a row and 6 in this at bat.
Darren's going to stay aggressive. Certainly doesn't want to walk him. That tying run on deck. You see him just peppering the strike zone right now.
Outside, ball 3. And O'Day calls Joseph out. Darren is the 4th Oriole pitcher in this game. Miguel went 5. Webb an inning and 2/3. Mattis a third of an inning. Faced 2 batters. And now Darren O'Day. Darren worked an inning last night. Came on with 2 out in the 7th. Gave up a hit. Then got the final out. Then a walk, a strikeout, and a fly ball out. But the walk scored, and that was the tie-breaking run, so he took the loss. The 3-2 is a tapper, slowly hit. This is going to be a tough play. Manny will bluff the throw and hold on to it. An infield hit. Wow. 10-pitch at bat. Barely makes contact, and he puts it in play.
Darren O'Day comes up with a great pitch, and Forsythe's able to get enough on it. Infield back a little bit. See Manny breaking in, then has to take that right turn or left turn to go get that ball. Doing the quick step in and change direction. Not enough time when he finally gets the ball to get the play on Forsythe. Now the Rays threatening here with runners at first and third.
There's nobody out. And here is Yunel Escobar, who is hitless on the night. He's hit 3 ground balls. Those at bats against Miguel Gonzalez. And a high fly ball to right. Tagging will be Zobrist. Markakis will likely throw to second base. Here comes the run. Nick does throw to second. It's a sac fly and an RBI, but O'Day gets a big out. So that run will be charged to Brian Mattis. It's now 7-5 in the 8th. And we're going to get another pinch hitter as Joe Madden is going to his bench. Kevin Kiermaier is going to come on. He'll then stay in the game in the outfield. So the tying run still at the plate at 7-5. Forsythe had to hold it first. And here's the rookie Kiermaier. A little low with the breaking balls. O'Day 1-0.
Kiermaier, good numbers on the year, but real good numbers against right-handed pitching. Now Darren O'Day different from with that submarine delivery, but he's hitting 380 against the righties.
Swings through a fastball, 1-1. O'Day has never faced Kiermaier. He had never faced Forsythe, who had a 10-pitch at bat and got an infield single. Kiermaier's 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter on the year since coming up from AAA. And a base hit. So he continues raking against right-handed pitching. The tying runs are on. The go-ahead run comes to the plate.
He gets on top of this one. And reaches out and hammers it through that hole. Good swing.
So the tying runs are on. And Sean Rodriguez, who has homered in 3 trips, coming up. There's still only 1 out in the inning. That leadoff double by Zobrist got it going. When O'Day came on, he inherited a runner at second base. That runner has scored. Now the 2 men out are his responsibility. Breaking ball for a strike. Good pitch. Rodriguez gave up on it and broke back into the strike zone.
Real tough when he starts it off at the front hip. They're located on that inside corner. Not a lot you can do with that pitch. If you get the bat head to it, generally you're going to pull it foul.
And that is swing and a miss, 0-2. Big moment in this game as the Orioles are trying to get this series even. They had a 5-0 lead, then it was 5-4, then it was 7-4, now it's 7-5. 0-2 on Rodriguez with 2 on him, 1 out. And he got him. Oh, big out for Darren O'Day and 2 men down.
He just kept working that slider in the middle, then away. A beautiful job by Darren O'Day. Making quick work of Rodriguez.
Desmond Jennings now, who's 1 out of 4, and that won a home run off Miguel Gonzalez in the 3rd. Jennings is 2 for 11 against O'Day in his career. And a turn and a look back to second. There's Zach Burton getting loose, the Oriole closer. The man on deck, Joyce, a left-handed batter. And a little low, 1-0. Peralta, the right-hander, closer, and Ramos, the left-hander, on the outside mound. Pending the score when this inning ends will determine which of those two you'll see. 1-0 on Jennings with 2 on and 2 out. And Colpa doesn't like it. It's outside, ball 2.
Pretty good pitch right there. It just got off that outside corner. Take a look at the pitch track. First fastball just down, and the second slider just catching the edge of the plate. They not getting the call.
A run in, 2 on, and 2 down. And again, Joseph's going to go out and talk to O'Day.
Better to be on the same page, but this is the 3rd time here in this inning that Caleb Joseph and Darren O'Day have had to get on the same page.
The tying run is at first, and the go-ahead run is at the plate. And Jennings is ahead, 2-0. And a strike.
Beautiful slider there. Get back into this count.
David Lowe came on to play in left field, so Nelson Cruz is out of the game. Trying to protect the lead. Buck goes to the defensive replacement. High fly ball to center. O'Day's going to get out of it. Adam Jones to his left and squeezes it for the final out in the inning end. So after all that, the Rays get a run and the Orioles hold on to the lead. We'll head to the 9th. You can exhale now, 7-5. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by Chapin Davis, providing investments that can produce income for your retirement plan. Call to learn more at 800-222-3246 or at chapindavis.com. So the Rays out there, and here's Cesar Ramos to come on to pitch here in the ninth.
Cesar at a 4.09 earned run average, 38 strikeouts, walks up this year at 25. The opponent's hitting 242, lefties at 241, righties at 243. The 5 home runs given up. Fastball, throws in the low 90s. Slider, change, and curve.
Ryan Hanigan now in the game. He's catching. Molina was pinch hit for. As Caleb Joseph will lead off. And this ball's hit to left field. Well, Ben Zobrist now is. 1 pitch, 1 down. Kiermaier, who pinch hit, stays in the game. He is in center field. And Logan Forsythe, who pinch hit, he stays in the game at second base.
Logan Forsythe catching Ryan Hanigan. Batting for the Orioles, right fielder Nick Markakis.
So this leaves Jerry Sands as the only player on the bench. And Hanigan goes into Desmond Jennings' spot, who made the last out in the 8th.
Center field is Kevin Kiermaier. Bringing the game in second base, Logan Forsythe.
And Markakis takes a breaking ball low, 1-0. Nick's had a good night. He has singled and scored. He has doubled, so 2 out of 4. His 28th multi-hit game on the year, tops on the club. And in the series now, he is 4 for 8. High fastball for ball 2. For Tampa Bay in the 9th, down by 2 runs at the moment. Joyce, Longoria, and Loney, 2, 3, and 4 will be up. And the one hitter left on the bench, Jerry Sands, is a right-handed batter for Tampa Bay. And Nick takes 2-1. Orioles are 8-7 in June. They're trying to snap a 2-game losing streak and go back 2 above 500 at 36-34. And they're 3 outs away from doing so. And a chopper towards short. Rodriguez cuts in front, and the third baseman ducks to first to get him. Nicely done, and 2 men down.
Nice play by Rodriguez, another one of these very versatile players. Joe Madden, pretty aggressive angle on this ball, cutting in front of Escobar. Zach Britton out there ready to go for the 9th.
Well, Steve Pearce DHing tonight, and here's what he did in the 7th.
He hammers a high fastball. He checks it out. Is it going to stay fair? It does. And that's plenty deep enough. Great success in that DH spot this season. 12 home runs for the DHs.
And home run number 5 for Pearce, hit here tonight, a new career high. His prior high was 4. He had done that a couple of times. And Ramos gets ahead 0-1. Miguel Gonzalez back on the bench after icing down. It's his game to win. He went 5 innings. They had him back on the ropes, but he never went down. And a ball cued down the line for a base hit, and that's going to be at least a double. Joyce has to run it down in the bullpen, and he does. That ball had backspin. Wide of the bag was Loney, and he found the spot.
Well, you gotta like that, right off the end of the bat. It's spinning. It works its way down into the Rays bullpen. Steve Pearce on his horse. Checking it out, head on a swivel. Well done. You don't really need a third base coach in those type of situations. You know where the ball is, and you look around. You make your own decision.
So on that gesture there by Bobby Dickerson that the infielders were wide away, and it won't matter anyway. It's going to be an intentional walk to Adam Jones to go after Chris Davis, who's on deck. So this will set up a lefty-lefty matchup, and Chris is not as hot as Adam is at the moment. There's Chris waiting on deck.
And smart decision because Adam Jones is just raking lefties this season, but a dangerous one. Crush Davis coming up. One swing in the back and put this game way out of reach.
And it's outside for ball 4, so Adam will head to first. He has been hit by a pitch and scored, now walked intentionally with 2 down. So the lefty-lefty matchup.
Chris Davis. Foul pole for the grand slam. Yeah, it went under review. Jesus out there shaking the cobwebs while they were checking the replay.
So Chris 1 for 3. He's been intentionally walked. He's also struck out twice. And it's upstairs 1-0. Chris 1 for 8 in his career against Ramos. And he swings through it 1-1.
Steve Pearce, the nice secondary lead out there. Very important run. Really extends. And he takes an extra step on the swing. Russell's back in there.
We have a modified shift on because of the runner at second base and because of the runner at first. Ooh, way inside 2-1. They need somebody near second base in case they need to get a force there, and they have to protect third base or Pearce will just take off. So you see Forsythe out there in shallow right field, but normally when Chris is up, the shortstop is on the other side. They can't do that in this situation.
Good to get runners on. Shifts have to make their adjustments. Chris Davis an extra opportunity. A bigger hole over there.
Borderline pitch called a strike. Chris doesn't agree.
That's a good breaking ball, so hard in and pretty close on the outside corner. And the fastball up and in, and the breaking ball's down and away.
2-2 on Davis with 2 on and 2 out. And then he pulls it into the shift. There's Forsythe and guns it to first to get Davis, and that'll do it. So the Orioles get a couple on after 2 men down, but cannot score. Here we go. Buckle up. Britton coming off for the save in a 2-run game. Rick is right. This Rays team, they just won't go away.
I know.
This looked like it was going to be one of those nice nights for the Orioles, and it's been anything but that.
It's really never easy taking on the Rays, but I'll tell you what, they're going to have be tested here with Zach Britton coming in the ball game. He's got holding opponents to a 185 batting average. Lefties 174, righties at 192. He's second in the American League in relief earned run average with that .76. And he does have 7 saves on the season.
So in a 2-run game, the key is the leadoff man. And here's Jerry Sands. He will pinch hit for Matt Joyce. So Joe Madden has emptied this bench. He wants the lefty-righty matchup. Sands will have his streak end. So pinch hitting this season, 3 for 6 with a home run and 4 RBIs. He had a 2-run home run last night to win the game. And Britton gets ahead of Sands, 0-1. Zach has 6 consecutive scoreless appearances going as he begins the 9th. And a chopper towards third. Tough play for Manny. He throws on the run, and he got him. And there's that big out to begin the inning, 1 away.
Beautiful play by Manny Machado. And once again, not much you can do with that fastball down in the zone except beat it in the ground. You see Manny, that good first step, the quick glove to hand transfer, a low throw. Chris Davis has made a couple nice picks tonight.
You know, Mike, that play, that's when you hear Buck Showalter talking about he's got a good clock. That play, that was exactly what he's talking about. No panic, gloved the ball, knew he had time, made a nice throw, and Davis on the back end.
Probably about as good as anybody at third base at that play.
Sharply at the Hardy, he gloves, he spins, he got him, 2 men down.
Left side of the infield showing off a little bit. J.J. Hardy showing the range up the middle. A nice spin move, gets his feet underneath him. Look at the strong throw over to Chris Davis. Beautiful play, gathering himself, getting himself under balance, making it look really easy there.
Loney is 0 for 4 against Britton. And there's a strike at the knee, zone 1. Zach last worked on Saturday, so he is well rested. Six consecutive scoreless appearances with 4 saves in that time. And 2 outs and nobody on. Loney on the night is 1 out of 3, a 2-run double in the 5th. And a chopper to second. This should do it. Scope a big hop. And he'll throw out James Loney, and the Orioles win it. So the Birds get even in this series. And that early 5-0 lead eventually hangs on. Those 2 big add-on runs in the 7th help out as well. And the Orioles get even in the series and win their 36th game of the year. So a big night for